cold as a razor blade.
Episode of the Snake Pit, and this week we're going to do something really cool. We've got a combined episode to tell the full story behind Jake's 1989 in the WWF. You know, Jake had a pretty crazy year that year. He starts out the year with his rivalry, his ongoing feud with Andre the Giant. That is going to be at the Royal Rumble, where he makes Andre eliminate himself from the Royal Rumble with a little help from Damien. They move on to WrestleMania, which is going to be the blowoff. And then Jake goes into a rivalry with Ted DiBiase. However, a severe neck injury that required surgery is going to knock Jake out of action for most of the summer and into the fall of 1989. He'll make his return, and then he's going to team up with none other than the Hulkster and Demolition at Survivor Series 1989. A very eventful year, a lot of stuff happening in the ring and outside of the ring. You guys are really going to enjoy this episode. It's such a cool combination of everything. I always get the feedback that a lot of people like these combination episodes because they're super long and it's something great to listen to while you're outside working in the yard or at your shoot job or whatever it is that you're doing. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. We will be back with Jake again soon to do Ask Jake Anything. I have also seen a lot of requests online for people asking Jake's opinion on the untimely and very unfortunate passing of Hulk Hogan. I will be covering that with Jake here coming up very soon on the show, so stay tuned and be with us next week right here on The Snake Pit. So there's plenty going on since last we left off at Survivor Series 88. And we're going to start by looking at some of the stuff happening inside the company. Firstly, in December 88, the former Sheep Herders are going to debut with the WWF as the Bushwhackers. Jake, had you ever spent any time around these guys during the Sheep Herder days?
I had. And
okay.
What a rough, tough, rumble-tumble street fight guys they were. And when they and started doing all that stuff they were doing, I'm like, who the fuck is that? And why? And what are they fucking doing? And I thought it was just insane. But it got over. Yep. It got over big time. And hell, it added years to their careers, man, because their style was so rough, man, on the body. They were like street fighting completely, you know, and it was rough on them. Took its toll.
And I mean, now they're coming in here and it's like, you know, you mentioned it before yourself where you're going from Mid-South blood and guts, Jake, to now all of a sudden you're carrying a snake. You're still the same dude, like on the mic and in the ring, but the blood and guts stuff is not existent in this world, right?
Yeah, it wasn't, man. It was easy.
Well, and I mean, you see these guys, the Bushwhackers, and you know, obviously, they're the same dudes outside of the ring. They're just very different inside. Did you get to spend a lot of time with them, like the bars, partying, stuff like that?
Oh yeah, I spent a little time with Butch and Luke. Yeah. Whoa! Yay! Yeah, I went through
it. Licking people's heads at the bar.
Yeah, they kept away from me.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I'd been like licking a tab of acid if they licked me, you know.
You're like one of those poison frogs out in the rainforest.
There you
go. During this time, do you believe it was easier for wrestlers to make such a drastic change in presentation without blowback from the wrestling audience who'd come to know them so well?
Yeah, it was, man. You know, the TV was so strong. You know, that's the whole thing. You're going to eat what you're fed. And so they feed you whatever they want to on television, and that's what you're going to eat up.
Yep. And, you know, like, I think that a lot of the old school fans are like, oh, they were so much better as the Sheep Herders, and they were kind of like the original, like, hardcore type guys. And it's like, maybe like, it's fun to watch, but, like, realistically, their legacy is the Bushwhackers.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. They got over huge, man. The kids loved them.
They were a lot like Hacksaw, who's getting over really big at this time, too. Just out there wild and brawlers. They're not going to put on any technical masterpieces, but they will entertain you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another entertaining guy that's here is Outlaw Ron Bass, but he's going to be winding things down with the company, and he's going to wrap things up completely after the Royal Rumble. I know that you had worked with Ron in Mid-Atlantic a little bit, and I'm guessing that you probably spent some time with him at other points in your career along the way.
I bumped into him a few times.
Yeah. I've heard he had a great sense of humor. What can you tell us about Ron and your experiences with him?
Oh, he was a good guy, man. He was solid, good guy. Wouldn't hurt a flea. My type of guy.
I like Ron too. Kind of an underrated star, and I think a dude who probably deserves a Hall of Fame nod.
It would be nice.
No question about it. Another guy on his way out the door here after the Rumble is Harley Race. As I mentioned on the last episode, he's just coming back from an injury and looking pretty good by all reports, but he's going to cite road fatigue working for Vince. As a reminder, we're talking about the former NWA traveling world champion Harley
Yeah,
Race, and he's saying that he's citing road fatigue with the
yeah.
WWF. I mean, that travel schedule must have been fucking brutal if he's thrown in the towel,
Oh,
right?
it was brutal, man. I mean, you woke up in a different city every day, man. You know, and the first thing you did when you woke up was get your ass to the airport. Then you'd fly somewhere. And I swear to God, I think they did the bookings with a dartboard. Just San Diego to Miami, Miami to Portland, Oregon, Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine, Portland, Maine to Houston. What the fuck, man?
How often were you waking up, like just looking around the hotel room, like, where the hell am I?
Oh yeah, a lot, a
Oh,
lot.
I can't imagine it.
Yeah, it was brutal.
How hard do you think the adjustment was for Harley to go from the territory system where he was part owner to now
Yeah,
being an employee for Vince? You think it was tough?
I don't think that part was tough for him. I think just the travel got to him
Hmm.
because he wasn't used to working 7 days a week. And
Okay.
with Vince, you work 7 days a week, twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday. And that's what got Harley.
Okay, so as the NWA champion, he's not working 7 days a week, maybe like two or three
No,
times a week.
yeah, yeah. And he'd have days off.
Now it's coming together. Okay,
Yeah,
so the travel is probably similar, but now instead of working only a few times a week, he's killing himself every single day.
right. He'd go into a territory and work 2 or 3 dates in that territory. So there wasn't much travel. You drove it by car. It was easy peasy.
A whole other world there working for Vince. That helps put it in perspective. That's great. Um, Now, I'm just wondering while we're here talking about Harley, did you ever hear the story of Harley threatening to kill Hulk Hogan?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so apparently the WWF was stealing business from his territory when he was the head of Kansas City, and
Yeah,
allegedly he actually, I think he came into a locker room and threatened Hogan with a gun.
or no shit.
I'm gonna have to check back in on this story because I don't have the full thing here in the notes. But yeah, apparently I don't know why he decided to come after Hogan with a gun. Probably Vince was the better answer, but you know,
Yeah,
I guess if you can't get to Vince, his top draw is a decent way to go.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that would certainly change things up.
Well, additionally, how close were you with Harley during this time? I know that you and he had a great relationship. Back in I think it was your Calgary days, right?
Yeah, Calgary. Uh, I'd bump into him. We'd talk a little bit. That's about it.
Did
I
he
didn't
ever
hang with him.
like voice his opinion on this new presentation in wrestling? Because it is light or night and day from what he was doing previously in his
Oh
career.
yeah, yeah. He spoke up a few times, but it was sad too. Because you look at a guy that went out there and really did the tough work. 90-minute matches, 60-minute matches every night, and really did the groundwork. You know, and you look at it, and here he's done that his whole life, and now all of a sudden he's jet airplaning around and doing half the work in the ring.
Uh-huh.
But the hardest part was the travel. That was what hurt you.
The
Was the
travel,
constant travel.
I can't imagine that he was like crazy about the King Harley thing either, because he was just, I mean, he, as you said, he used to be like the 60-minute wrestler guy, and now he's
Tough
here
guy.
as, yeah, a character.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He did. It put a nasty taste in his mouth.
I'm hard to blame him. I mean, this is right when the territories are getting ready to die, and
Yeah,
he's a territory guy now, being forced into a kind of a cartoon role to continue his career. It's like, yeah, I don't necessarily blame him for wanting to hang it up.
yeah.
Well, he's going to finish up at the Royal Rumble, losing his title to Haku, making Haku the king. By all accounts, Haku is a certified badass, but so is Harley. Jake, hypothetically, fist
Yeah,
fight. Who wins the fist fight?
Haku.
What about young Harley Race? Not Harley at this
Haku.
point. Any era of Haku.
Haku. The moment he was born, Haku.
He actually gets into legal trouble stemming from him biting off a guy's nose at this
Yeah,
time as
I
well. I
was there.
know.
I was there.
You witnessed him biting a
I
man's nose off.
witnessed it. I witnessed it.
You finish your drink or just leave the bar?
I got a beer.
Oh,
You
you were
know,
like, let's have a show.
I was like, fuck, I gotta have a beer after that shit.
Yeah, to try to wipe that from my memory.
Yeah, man.
I mean, is it like you can like it's a weird question, but like just
Oh,
what
he
like
bit it
stomp
off,
or
man.
anything?
There was just 2 holes there.
Oh my god!
He bit the whole fucking nose off.
And like the night doesn't come grinding to a halt. You're like, holy shit! Okay, I'm gonna take a beer.
Yeah. I knows you're in trouble.
Just a different time.
Bet you won't be nosy.
It's probably not gonna have much of a sense of smell moving forward either.
No.
Holy shit. Well, you had mentioned before that your travel was crazy, particularly when you were working with Steamboat in '86. Now we're
Yeah.
coming into '89 here, and you're programmed with Andre. Would you say that the schedule was different, with you being paired with Andre?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, how so?
A little bit easier.
Well, Andre was not in the best of health. His back had continued to
Yeah.
be an issue at this time, so I'm guessing that was a big part of it. I mean, apparently, even in first class, those big seats, he's
Yeah.
still struggling because of his size.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, Andre's looked at as like one of the most respected guys ever in the locker room, like one of those like
Yeah.
stoic kind of impenetrable figures. Was he selling it when he's backstage, or like
Fuck
keeping it behind
no.
closed doors? Never.
Never.
Wow.
Never heard him complain once.
Wow.
Not once.
I mean, I know that your strategy was always to kind of keep him close to the rope so he could support
Yeah.
himself and get himself
Yeah.
up. Was that ever something that you, because if he's not selling it, does that mean that he's not discussing this with you, like how to help him out in the ring?
No, he never discussed it with me. I just did it.
Okay. You just knew what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. He thanked me for it.
Okay. So
You
he
know,
didn't ask you for it, but he recognized you were doing it.
yeah, absolutely.
How did you know to do it, Jake?
I was told a long time ago you never expose somebody's weakness.
Mm.
Because if you do, then you're beating a lesser man. You know, you want to accentuate the guy's positive and make him the biggest, baddest son of a bitch on the planet. That way, if you beat him, you beat somebody.
Okay.
So knowing that Andre was struggling with his back, even if you didn't know, you could tell when he walked that he was hurting. Just by the way he walked.
Yeah.
So what do? You don't do shit that'll fucking make him bend over, get down on his knees, get him back up. Giants don't need to do that shit anyway.
That's true. You should be the one who's doing like all of the bumping around the ring, right?
Fuck yeah, man.
And you at this time, as we mentioned before, you're getting ready to go to neck surgery here later
Yeah,
this same year. So like
yeah.
you're not exactly in the best of health either, but
No, I was hurting.
you're doing what you need to do to make sure that these matches come off right.
Yeah,
So I've heard about guys in these days going town to town doing essentially the same exact match night after night because it's this
yeah.
is before the internet, so it's you can get away
Right.
with that stuff. Is that what you and Andre were doing, or did you have variations?
We had variations. We'd just go out there and just do whatever we came up with. I knew 2 or 3 things that he liked to do, so I'd put myself in position for them. Sometimes he'd do them, sometimes he wouldn't.
Okay, so it's like kind of just feeling out the audience and
Yeah,
depending on the mood that Andre is in, I'm guessing.
exactly. How much vodka was in the tank?
I'm guessing that would probably influence things a little bit.
Yeah,
A guy who's going to retire here in 1988 and then make his return by the end of the year is Big John Studd. And Bruce Pritchard has said that Studd maybe didn't realize that when you take yourself out of the game, you stop making money, which is a pretty funny quote from Bruce.
Yeah.
Studd is, of course, going to be the guest ref for your match with Andre at WrestleMania, and he's going to work
Right.
with Andre after you.
Yeah.
So I've heard that he's a guy whose heart really was not in the business. What can you tell us about John?
John was a good guy, man, and Andre hated him. Hated him.
Why?
So he would beat the fuck out of John. Well, on an interview one time, Studd called Andre nothing but a circus freak.
Oh boy.
And that didn't sit well with Andre. So he would go out and toss Big John Studd around. Yeah.
John Studd, who's what, 7'1",
Yeah. 450. And
just a
toss him
plaything.
around.
Oh my god, just a plaything to a guy like Andre.
Yeah. Yeah. It was hard to watch, man, because it was painful. you know,
Was that like prior to this that they had issues, or going into this program?
it was prior.
Oh man, okay, so now Stud's getting paired with him again. He's probably like, shit.
Oh, yeah. He was fucking dreading it.
Hard to blame him.
But Andre wanted him, so that was that.
Okay, so Andre wasn't finished with him quite yet.
Exactly.
Well, John is returning here to a big push, and he's going to win the Royal Rumble here in '89. In your mind, was it pushing a little bit too hard to put a guy like Stud in that position, or was he the right guy for the spot at this time?
I think he was the right guy at the time. They wanted to put him with Andre, so you got to do it, man. You got to give him something to chew on.
Did you feel like Stud was a guy who like maybe had more potential he didn't get to reach, or did, I mean, was
I
what you
think
saw
they.
what you got?
I think he's what you saw is what you got.
Okay.
John wasn't a lightning quick thinker. He wasn't real sharp. He was the dullest knife in the drawer, like a butter knife.
Like a big guy, he's coming in a big scary package, but just maybe not quite the
Yeah,
right mind for the business.
yeah. He wasn't a gorilla. Thank God he wasn't. He'd been killing people. But
Imagine a guy like that being aggressive. Yeah, he'd be
oh
scary.
fuck, yeah, he'd be scary.
Well, as I mentioned, and we talked about here a little bit, I mean, the travel's crazy, and you're working your ass off at this time because if you don't work, obviously you don't get paid, as Bruce pointed out.
Yeah, it's
So,
funny.
so weird how that works, just like a normal job. Uh,
Unbelievable.
so at this time, Jake, are you sending money home to Cheryl and allowing her to manage it? Or are you just trying to strike some kind of a budget of your own on the road, or how are you keeping track of everything?
I'm not keeping track of shit.
No.
Cheryl was taking care of everything.
So
I
you just
mean,
send home the
yeah.
checks and handle it.
Well, they went straight to the house.
Got to.
Checks went straight to the house, and I'd be gone for a month and 2 months at a time.
Oh man, I mean, brutal, especially when you consider that not everything is being paid for by the WWF. You were paying for your own rental cars and hotels, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How much do you think you would spend in a calendar year on just hotels and rental cars?
I haven't calculated that up, but you might as well figure $100 a night for a hotel and 60 for a rental car back then.
Oh my God.
So 160 every day.
Man, that is a lot of money going out the
Oh
window.
yeah,
Did you always try to get, or did you try to get a particular type of rental car, or were you just taking
yeah.
whatever was cheapest?
No, I spent money on a rental car.
Okay, so what was your car of choice?
Lincoln
Okay, something big.
town car. Yeah, if I've got to travel, I want something that's comfortable.
And speaking of being comfortable, how about the hotels? Are you roughing it, or are you saying, "Hey, I'm making enough money to stay
Marriott's,
in a good spot"? Okay, so
Marriott's.
a decent enough spot.
Yeah.
I just spoke to Ted about travel recently on our show, and he revealed the guy who he thought was the biggest cheapskate ever in wrestling. Before I tell you who he said, I have to ask you, who is the biggest cheapskate or most frugal guy ever?
Macho,
That's what he said too.
macho man.
What did you see with Savage?
He wouldn't even get a hotel. He'd go to the airport and sleep.
Ted was like, yeah, he would sleep at the airport, as you said,
Yeah,
or he said like you would also sometimes see him sleeping in a rental car, and I was like, oh man, Savage in a rental car. He was like, yeah, with Liz, and I'm like, wait a
yeah,
minute, he's forcing his
yeah,
wife to sleep in a car.
yeah.
That is
Crazy.
that is next level frugal.
Yeah, that's just fucking insane. He used to have the marks driving around.
Oh really?
Yeah, when he got the title, Vince told him he couldn't do that anymore.
Why?
You don't want your world champion riding around in a 62 fucking Volvo or a Volkswagen with two fucking a Volkswagen van with flowers painted on the side. No, you don't want him in that.
Did you ever ride with the fans?
Hell no.
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 So what was stopping you? Because it's a big money saver. What made you decide against it?
Just the constant questions.
Ah, I gotcha.
Just, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? What would you do if he did this?
So you'd be like sitting there trying to sleep, and they're peppering you with,
Right.
"Oh yeah, no thanks."
Right.
Well, at this time, the WWF is running 3 towns a night. Hogan and Bossman are working on top of the A card. Macho is working with just essentially whoever on the B shows. And yourself and Andre are headlining C towns such as Bristol, Tennessee, Oklahoma City, Pensacola, Portland.
Yeah.
Andre's a massive star, and you've become a household name yourself by this point in your career as
Yeah.
well. So even though these were C towns, was it a good audience? Were you drawing a
Oh
big
yeah.
crowd?
Oh yeah. Did
I
real
mean,
well.
you see Jake the Snake and Andre are coming to your town. I can't imagine a lot of people not going to that.
Oh yeah.
Payoffs on C Towns, good.
Fair.
It's weird because you're working on top against fucking the eighth wonder of the world, Andre.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, in theory, it should be good money. However, it is a smaller town, so
You make good money.
Of note, on January 8th, the WWF ran the Charlotte Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the first time the WWF came to this town, which historically the WWF did not do well in Crockett country. But this event is bringing in 13,500 fans. The card includes 8 matches, but the big ones are Arn and Tully versus the Rockers, DiBiase and Hercules, yourself and Andre in the semi-main, and Hogan and Bossman on top. So this card is a combination of talent that worked A, B, and C towns.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's loaded with Hall of Fame talent. So, Jake, I'll ask you, do you think this had more to do with trying to make an impression when running a new venue, or is Vince trying to make a statement in Crockett country?
Make a statement.
I've never met Vince, but based on what I've heard, that sounds like something
Yeah.
he would want to do.
Yeah. He wanted to show him this is mine.
Well, speaking of Vince trying to one up the Crockett's, the Royal Rumble was an event created by Pat Patterson, and this is the second installment. As a reminder to our listeners, the Rumble was created to directly compete against Jim Crockett Promotions' Bunkhouse Stampede pay-per-view because Vince wanted to be the king of pay-per-view, and he essentially threatened the pay-per-view providers by saying, if you carry theirs and don't carry mine, you won't get WrestleMania 4. After a massive WrestleMania 3, these pay-per-view providers are like, oh, yeah, whatever you want, sure.
Yeah.
So Vince is like strong arming people. And, Jake, I'm wondering, you're a smart businessman, but you're also a guy who grew up in the territory system. So,
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot of folks say that competition is a good thing in wrestling. How did you think, or what did you feel about these sabotage tactics?
I just showed me what a vicious son of a bitch Vince was.
Yeah.
I mean, it tells you a lot about the man, and his intentions. And his intentions was to crush everyone. Everyone. So he had the only game in town. And that's what he did.
I mean, yes, it's competition. Yep, you're running a business, and these are business competitors. But this is, these it's a family-owned operation. Both of them are,
Yeah.
and you're essentially like, trying to bankrupt these people.
Yeah.
So pretty brutal. I mean, if it's you running a territory, do you think you'd be satisfied just being in a territory, or are you looking to dominate the way that Vince is?
I'd like to dominate,
Okay.
but I would welcome some type of competition because I think competition is good for everybody.
Hell yeah.
You know, I think a second wrestling company is great. It's great for the talent and it's box office.
Forces everybody to up their game.
Damn straight.
Even here in 1989, would you say you were starting to see the writing on the wall for the territory days?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was over. Yeah,
Disappointing, or when you're working on top, it doesn't hit quite as hard?
it was disappointing because you realized, I looked ahead to see what it was going to cost us, and one thing it cost was there was no longer a breeding ground for new talent.
Mm.
You know, for guys that are starting, there was no place to go, and that was sad, real sad. And I think a few years later, we all paid for that.
Yep.
And there was a lull in the business simply because there was no fresh blood. Nothing new was coming through. It was all the same old shit.
That's something I want our listeners to think about a little bit is, all of a sudden you're going from, you're getting competitors that are working every night on the road and then jumping into a new territory and learning over there to now all of a sudden you're getting guys who maybe worked like 150 times that year.
Shit, you'd be in with guys that wrestled 10 times that year.
I mean, a mass like Jake honed his skills and became Jake the Snake because he got to learn from people, different territories, working
Yeah.
all the time, riding in the cars and hearing the stories. That's how you became Jake the Snake Roberts. And now
Yes.
it's like, it's just the faucet's turned off.
Yeah. Nothing's going to come out, man.
Very different world. All right, so we're getting to the Royal Rumble here. You've done plenty of battle royals over the years, Jake, but now this is a whole other thing with the Royal Rumble. What did you think about these entrances separated by 90 seconds or 2 minutes or whatever?
2 minutes was too long.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Why is that?
Because if you came in there number one and stayed till the end, you weren't tired son of a bitch.
Okay, that's a really good point.
And I had to put some time in some of those.
Yes, you did. I can't remember what year it was, but you were in there for a hell of a long time.
Yeah, I was in there for like 40 minutes, man, and fuck that.
Just take a bump in the corner and just sit there.
I would hide. I would hide in the corner.
It's funny because I had asked you your Royal Rumble strategy probably about
Yeah,
a
get
year
in the
ago when we
corner and
talked
I
about it.
hide.
And so what's funny is a couple weeks ago, I asked Ted the same thing. He was like, "Oh, I always got to the corner." I'm like, "Really? That's what Jake said." And so last week I spoke to Jim about this event and I was like, "Hey, I asked Jake and I asked Ted, what's your Royal Rumble strategy?" He's like, "Oh, I get in the corner." And I'm like, "So everybody's just trying to fight their way into a corner?"
Yep.
It's just hilarious picturing everybody grabbing their opponent and trying to back into the corner.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll get to your match or your involvement here in a minute. Before we do, Jake, I do not want to let this episode slip by without asking you about this, which could be a candidate for WrestleCrap, in my opinion. The Ultimate Warrior and Rick Rude are starting their rivalry in early '89, and they're here at the Rumble facing off, but it's not in a match. They are in a pose-off, Jake.
Oh yeah.
So after growing up in wrestling, as we've talked about, admiring guys like Danny Hodge, you're paying your dues in these violent, bloody matches across America, Japan. What did you think about two oiled up dudes posing in the ring, Jake?
I thought I want to jack off for a while.
that's pretty much the answer I was hoping for.
Yeah. What the fuck?
This is a major pay-per-view now at this point. Yes, it's only the second year, but it's one of like the kind of tentpole pay-per-views in the era. And you're taking up valuable pay-per-view time with guys posing at each other.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It was wonderful.
I don't know. Is it better to have the pose off with Warrior or put Warrior in a match?
Pose off.
There we go. That's a payoff on the question I was really hoping to get to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of getting to things, let's get to the Rumble itself. You're going to come in at number 7, and this is not a very long Royal Rumble for you because you're going to be eliminated by Andre in just 2.5 minutes. So
yeah, it's perfect.
In and out, quick night, but Your night is not over yet, Jake. Let's have a look at
No.
Andre's unique elimination that night at the hands of yourself and Damien. Listeners can follow along with the link we'll provide in the description of the episode because WWE made it available on YouTube. Here we go. All right. So Andre's in the corner working over Outlaw. You've got Kurt Hennig in the background with Shawn Michaels, which is really cool. And all right, we've got the countdown going now. We're at 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And who we have here? Okay, it's Bushwhacker Butch stomping on down to the ring. You can see the fans starting to stand up and look too, not just for Butch. There's something else going on. Butch is in there like a house of fire. Here's what the fans are looking at. It's Jake the Snake. You're throwing Damien into the ring. And here you come after Andre. There goes Andre. He eliminates himself. Oh, man. Look at that reaction from the crowd. So Andre's out of here. Everybody in the ring is in shock. Nope. Andre's taking his ball and going home. All right. So there was a moment that still gets referenced a lot when people talk about the Royal Rumble. It's a pretty cool, iconic thing. What do you think 35 years later, Jake?
I think it was great thinking.
That begs the question. Did you come up with this?
No.
No. Who did?
It was a natural.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a natural. That was, everybody guessed that.
I mean, it's brilliant, especially because Andre was kind of like the king of battle royals. Nobody ever eliminated Andre by themselves.
Right.
And now you're not even touching him and you're forcing him to eliminate himself. It's just brilliant stuff.
Took a pretty good bump getting out of there.
Like, you saw him kind of hobbling over, so watching him try to, that's his version of like running, I guess. Like, watching that happen, I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go, him bailing out. But no, he did a good job.
Yeah, he did a good job, man.
Not too bad for a guy who's in a lot of pain. How many bottles of wine do you think that night, if you had to guess?
Oh, probably 5 or 6 and a bottle of vodka.
Just to get started.
Yeah.
Man, it was really cool. Let's hit a couple of fan questions, and then I'll let you go, Jake.
Right.
First up, we've got Adam Krasnoff, who asks, at this point, did you know what the plans were for you going into WrestleMania 5?
No.
So, I mean, WrestleMania, massive show. I mean, is it like how long before WrestleMania are you finding out what their ideas are for you?
Oh, couple weeks.
Wow. Okay, so they're kind of booking this shit on the fly.
Oh yeah.
Kind of weird that Big John Studd is selected to win the Rumble here, only to go on to become a guest referee in your match with Andre. Do you have any idea why they selected him to do that?
To give me a chance.
Okay. I got you. So you've got a babyface Big John Studd on your side to help. Okay. Now it's making sense. Last question. Philip France asks a good one here. So we're talking about how they're kind of booking you last minute. This is the opposite end of the spectrum. The Mega Power storyline is getting ready to come to a head at WrestleMania 5, and it was something the company had been building for an entire year. What did Jake think about a program being extended for so long? So it's a good point, Jake. Here they are getting ready to book you, whatever, a week or two ahead of WrestleMania. But this is a story they've been telling for close to a year now.
Well, I think that's the way it should be booked. That's the way it should be booked. You come up with an idea, then you play with it that whole year. Build it. That way there's a crescendo at the end, man, where everybody blows their nut,
The Mega Powers explode.
That's it.
Okay, guys, we got to take a quick break from the show to talk about one of our partners that always comes through in the clutch. I absolutely love these guys. It's Green Chef. And why do they come through in the clutch? Because they're saving me time. They're saving me effort. They're saving me trips to the grocery store. They're making my life simple, and they're making life delicious with their incredible meals that they send. And, summer's here, and it's something about summer, right? It just makes you feel your very best. The warm weather, the sunshine, the good food. And look, there's no better time than summer to create healthy meal habits that last and that you can still enjoy just like you enjoy all of your summer meals. You guys have got to try Green Chef. They're the #1 meal kit for clean eating. Green Chef is going to make it really easy to spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying your summer. On top of all of the delicious recipes they have, now they've also got heat and eat meals, so you can enjoy delicious, wholesome meals in just 3 minutes. Their food includes fresh, organic, seasonal produce and 100% responsibly sourced proteins, and they're going to help you feel your best and support your wellness journey. Green Chef's real, clean ingredients help you build lasting, healthy habits without the hassle of going out to find all this stuff. You can enjoy salads ready in just 5 minutes. How about a protein-filled breakfast or nutrient-rich smoothies to fuel your day? Green Chef is ready to nurture your nutritional needs. They've got 80-plus dietitian-approved weekly meal options, and Green Chef makes it easy to find meals that fit you and your lifestyle. Pick from Mediterranean, gluten-free, plant-based, and protein-heavy, even gut and brain health, and calorie-smart choices as well. The recipes change every single week, and with week-to-week flexibility, you can adjust your plan to match your mood and your schedule. I absolutely love cooking. It's something that I really have a lot of fun doing, especially when I get to do it with my wife. She and I can kind of partner up, and it's always fun to do that. And Green Chef provides us with that option in a really fun way. They've got all this stuff and it's already pre-measured, so they're saving us the hassle and the annoyance of having to go to the grocery store and find all this stuff and then grab the measuring cups and measure things out perfectly so that we don't add too much or too little of anything. They take care of all the guesswork. These boxes show up, the meals are completely put together there for you. All you've got to do, combine the ingredients, follow the simple instructions, and you've got delicious meals. I'm telling you, my wife and I have started doing Green Chef once they became a sponsor for us, and we're never looking back. This is one of those products where, regardless of if they're sponsoring the podcast or not, I am always going to be using Green Chef because they make my life simple and they provide us with delicious, healthy meals. It's time, guys. You've got to make this summer your healthiest yet with Green Chef. All you've got to do is go to greenchef.com/50snakepit and use our code 50snakepit. You're going to get 50% off of your first month, then 20% off for 2 months with free shipping. That's code 50snakepit at greenchef.com/50snakepit. There's never been a better time to try this out. You've got to find out for yourself why I love Green Chef so much. You're going to save 50%, then 20% off for 2 months after that and free shipping. You cannot beat that deal. I'm going to say it one more time. It's greenchef.com/50snakepit. Use our code 50snakepit and start eating healthier with Green Chef. Following the Royal Rumble, it's reported that Dusty Rhodes officially resigned from the NWA and was set to return to Florida, where he had purchased 60% of the nearly dormant Florida Championship Wrestling territory. Dusty is a legendary guy and a major figure in the NWA, but I've heard some folks say that he could be tough to work with and had a tendency to position himself at the expense of other talents. In your experiences around Dusty, would you say that you viewed him as one of the boys or more of a political office figure?
Dusty knew how to book Dusty, and he's a great talent. I mean, thank God he wasn't a piece of shit. Did not know what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, man, and he could work with just about anybody if he wanted to, and make money. I always found him easy to work with. Issues here, but maybe I wasn't in the position to cause issues.
Gotcha. Okay, so you would have been around him primarily during your time in Charlotte?
In Florida.
In Florida, that's right. Okay, during all that stuff with Kevin Sullivan.
Right.
Okay, so you didn't really necessarily have to experience it. You weren't around him for a super long time. But yeah, that's always been the rap on him. Boy, great wrestling mind. However, he's going to make sure that Dusty gets over.
Oh, yeah, he does that.
I mean, when you hear about him starting his own wrestling territory back in these days, do you feel like, a guy like Dusty Rhodes, his experience, a big success incoming, or maybe not so much in those days?
I think it was bad timing.
Why is that?
It just wasn't ready for it. Florida had been twisted upside down, and wrung wet, man. By then, once Florida Championship Wrestling went down, it went down hard, man. And they took all the TVs off of it, and that experience was gone. And you got to have television, man.
Man, it's sad to see the state of it in those days, especially after what it was, what a huge wrestling territory it had been. So yeah, it's a bummer. Well, Dusty isn't the only departure from NWA at this time, as J.J. Dillon makes the jump to the WWF, and it's reported he'll be working in an office role as an assistant booker and as a point of contact, possibly to bring more talents from NWA to WWF. I know J.J. was a journeyman wrestler before he became a manager. Jake, did you get a lot of time around J.J. Dillon?
I actually wrestled J.J. Dillon.
Did you really?
Yeah, in my early days.
What do you think of his work?
Mediocre at best.
Maybe that's why he became a manager.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have heard people say over the years, though, that like, man, one of the best bump takers ever out there. Was that your experience with him?
Yeah, he can take bumps, man.
He was entertaining. He would even incorporate some of that as a manager, which was always fun to watch.
Yeah, you sure as hell did, man.
Now, I believe he would go on to work in a talent relations role with the company.
Yeah.
What do you remember about dealing with him in that capacity as like a booker talent relations guy?
I had no dealings with him at all.
Really?
He wasn't there very long.
Okay, so talent relations, but didn't have many relations with you over the course of that period of time. Well, also another note here surrounding this time period. Sadly, just before Mania in 1989, Paul Boesch is going to pass away from a heart attack. Jake, what can you tell us about Boesch as a promoter and as a man?
The greatest promoter, man, that ever came along.
Wow.
He was so good to people, man. He treated you fairly. He treated you like a man. You felt like you were doing something when you were working for him, man. It was special. And his manner and the way he treated you, he put out the utmost respect for the athletes, and he was very gracious when it come to payoffs too.
So I know that during your time with Mid-South, you would go down to Houston and work for Bosch here and there. And so going from Bill Watts, who maybe you didn't have a great relationship as a promoter, down there to Bosch, was there an opportunity for you to just stay in Houston and work for Bosch?
No, because he's only running the one show.
Oh, shit. Okay. So good payoffs, but not enough to sustain you all by itself.
No, not at all.
Well, it was always rumored that Gino Hernandez was Bosch's illegitimate son. Jake, you got to know both guys really well. Any truth to the rumor?
I believe so.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow. A lot of similarities between the two of them and their personalities?
Yeah.
Does make you wonder.
Certainly does, man. I don't think there was any room to wiggle with that one.
Well, there's another big piece of news from this time that I would absolutely love to get your take on, Jake. We have this from the 2/20/1989 Observer. The big media story in wrestling this week is that the ultimate kayfabe violation has taken place courtesy of Titan Sports and Vince and Linda McMahon. Titan admitted that pro wrestling was fake and that the competitors do everything they can to avoid hurting one another in a New Jersey State Senate hearing on Thursday in hopes of getting pro wrestling taken away from the authority of the State Athletic Commission, and so state law would no longer mandate a doctor in attendance at ringside during pro wrestling exhibitions. Brother, after all these years of protecting kayfabe on your behalf, and I'm sure on behalf of so many other guys you saw, guys getting fired in Mid-South after losing a fist fight at the bar, stuff like that. Now here's the most powerful man in wrestling publicly breaking kayfabe. What do you remember about hearing this?
Oh, I remember hearing it, man. We were all like, are you fucking kidding me? When you look at it, you say, wait a minute. You're doing this so you don't have to have a doctor at ringside.
Yep.
Well, that's not fucking good. But the sad thing was those doctors they had, half of them weren't doctors. They were fucking veterinarians, wannabe doctors. Maybe they'd worked in the back of an ambulance at one time.
Oh Lord.
Things like that. And they got paid a pretty good hunk of change too.
Man, it's crazy. I know it's a huge business expense for Vince to, have to pay these buildings and have to pay to have these doctors come in and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, it's a work, it's predetermined. However, you guys are taking some big risks with your bodies. Maybe not a bad thing to have a doctor present.
No, it'd be a great thing, man. That's one thing I like about AEW is they have a doctor present. And they take care of you, man. If somebody's hurting, they've got a chiropractor there waiting to adjust them. They've got a doctor there waiting to tell them what to do, where to go. So, they check people out. You have to be cleared by the doctors to get back in the ring after a concussion or something, or any type of injury. They make you go through the hoops, man, before you can get back in that ring. Because lots of times, it's the doctor's job is to protect the athlete from himself.
Yep.
Because guys want to get back out there sometimes before they're ready, and it's a shame. I get it. I get why we do it, but it's wrong. So AEW is doing it right.
Man, a class organization that really cares about their talents. You've got to give it up to AEW. That's incredible.
Absolutely.
Now, when it comes to the cardinal rule of breaking kayfabe, though, I mean, I think that the broader audience by this time probably suspected that wrestling was predetermined. But still, it's like, this is the cardinal rule, and the most powerful man in wrestling is breaking it. How did you feel about that aspect of it?
I didn't like it, man. And to this day, I still kayfabe people.
Do you really?
Yeah, I still do it.
So when you were like marching around as a heel there with Lance Archer, if somebody comes up to you in the airport, you slap them, right? Get them away from.
No, I don't. For Christ's sakes, I headbutt them.
Oh well, that's even better.
Like I'm kissing them, I just a short little headbutt,
See, that's masterful heel work right there. The headbutt.
You're in the eye, something simple.
You got to get one of those Jake squirt heads like we talked about and start squirting people again.
That's good. That'd be good as gold, man. Fill it full of piss.
There you go. You can tell people it's my piss. Don't wash that shirt. That's Jake Roberts' piss.
Good shit.
Well, after the Rumble, it's made official that WrestleMania 5 will be at Trump Plaza again. Jake, we discussed on our WrestleMania 4 episode that the crowd was not enthusiastic throughout the event due to the likelihood that, there was a lot of comp tickets for high rollers and businessmen who weren't necessarily wrestling fans. What did you think when you heard that you were headed back to Atlantic City?
I was like, oh my God, not again. Because it was tough, man. It was a tough crowd. But WrestleMania 5, it was better.
I will say I watched back WrestleMania 5 in preparation for this, and dude, that crowd was absolutely dead for most of WrestleMania 4. It seemed like the fans must have flocked to the building this time around.
Yeah, the fans are there.
After WrestleMania 3 and the reported 90,000 fans, did it feel like kind of a huge downgrade to do WrestleMania in such a small venue?
It kind of made us feel like, what the hell's wrong? We were all it was a big letdown, man.
I can't imagine, because you're in that massive dome, and by the way, sold the place out. And you've got all these people surrounding you. There's that incredible view of you. It's like a huge zoom out of you riding to the ring on that cart, and there's just thousands of people surrounding you. And now it's very compact and small. And at one point you're walking down these steps, and the fans are just they could just touch you. They could grab your bag, pants you. They were just, everybody was right on top of you. It had to feel very weird.
It did feel weird, man. It just didn't feel. It didn't feel like gold, The WrestleMania 3 was gold, man. Gold and silver all the way. But 4 and 5, man, it was a huge letdown.
We will get to I'm sure a lot of folks hear this and they're like, yeah, why did they do it in the smaller venue? We're getting to the reason why here shortly. a few interesting things happen along the way as you're working house shows with Andre. In one instance, you're going to team up with Tito Santana to take on Andre and Rude, which is notable because Tito was already in a tag team of his own with Rick Martel.
Right.
Safe to assume that this random pairing was done to give Andre a little break, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spend a little bit more time on the apron, not have to go in there and bump. Every time I talk to DiBiase about Tito, he sings his praises. How are your experiences working with him in either a tag team or singles?
Absolutely, man. Tito's a class act, brother. He can go out there and get it done at any time.
That's what everybody says. Like a hell of a worker, probably honestly a pretty underrated worker. Not enough people talk about that guy.
Absolutely.
The other notable thing that happened along the way is apparently you'll be bit by Damien on a show in Los Angeles, and it actually draws a pretty significant amount of blood based on the reports.
Yeah.
Now, this is notable because you're working with Andre, and the storyline, of course, was that you're terrorizing him with the snake, and now the snake is drawing blood, biting you. Nobody's smarting that snake up, huh?
Nobody's smarting the snake up, but the truth is he bit Andre first.
Okay.
He bit Andre in the shoulder and broke his fangs off. So when he bit me, he had these jagged fangs that just ripped the shit out of my hand.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, it was nice. But I went back to the locker room, man. I'm like, I got to go see Andre to see how he's doing. And I was like, fuck, I hope he's not pissed at me, you know? So I opened the door. I'm like, Andre, you okay? Yeah, boss, I'm good, you know? And about that time, Rick Rude walks up to him and goes, Andre, what's this? And he grabs the fucking fang and pulls it out of him. Andre laughed and said, snake is hungry.
Well, there's all the evidence you need that Andre wasn't really necessarily afraid of these snakes, huh?
He wasn't, man. Are you kidding me?
So Jake, you're out there in the middle of a match. The snake with now jagged teeth bites you, lays you open. How bad was the cut? Stitches?
Stitches.
How many?
9.
Okay. I mean, in the moment, you know, I'm sure adrenaline is pumping. Did you even notice it?
I noticed it right away because I felt it. When it ripped, I felt it.
Oh God, yeah. I guess it would be more of a rip than like a clean tear, wouldn't it? Or clean kind of a cut on you, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, the snake bites you, but what do? You jerk away.
Oh, okay.
That's when it rips.
Holy shit, man. Not always glamorous to be carrying around a snake, huh?
No. Yeah, you want to be a star here? Carry this around for a while. Okay, you get me.
How often were you getting bitten by these snakes overall?
Averaged out to probably 2 times a year.
Okay.
Maybe 3 times a year.
Now, was it something that you were doing, or is it just like random aggression from these snakes?
Random aggression. People thought Damien was one snake. Damien was only good for about 10 days.
Wow.
And then they'd send me another one. Well, sooner or later I'll get a bad one. You know, it's just a numbers game, you know. And I guess, the snake's having a bad day and he takes it out on me.
Some snakes are just assholes, man.
You got that right.
Well, an interesting new wrinkle is added to the angle between you and Andre as Heenan reveals on the Brother Love show that Andre has been hypnotized into no longer fearing snakes. Brother Love would present a snake in a bag to prove it, and Andre would back off with Heenan making some excuses for him. So, Jake, first of all, what do you think of the hypnotism angle?
It's cute. That's all. It was cute. Gives the people something to think about. Anticipation. That was a big question mark. Is this going to make a difference? That's all. It was good TV.
I thought it was a really smart idea because it's really outside the box thinking, but
Sure.
they kind of fucked it up for night one because they proved that he is still afraid of the snake right then and there. Like, wouldn't it make more sense to bring that to Mania?
No, you got to do it before.
Why is that?
Well, you got to do something to assure that I'm not getting murdered.
Ah, okay. To keep the fans thinking that you stand a chance because he is still afraid of snakes.
Exactly.
I'm with you. Well, it'll be announced that Big John Studd is going to be the guest referee for your match with Andre, and there would be some speculation in the Observer that his work had left WWF officials disappointed, and that might be why they put him in this position. What did you think about having Studd assigned to the match in that role?
Well, at first I was glad about it.
Really?
Yeah, but then as I got closer to it, I found out that Andre really didn't like Studd at all. He couldn't stand John Studd.
Even to that day?
Even to that day, John had said something in an interview called Andre a freak.
Oh, boy.
And that he was the only giant, true giant, that Andre was a genetic freak. And it left a bad taste in Andre's mouth.
I'll bet.
And Andre punished him, in the match.
What does it look like when Andre decides to punish you in a match?
Oh, fuck. Are you kidding? It's horrible. I mean, I'm there hoping I don't get killed by John Studd's body parts that are going to fly off of it. And Andre would shove Studd, and Studd would shove into me or try to reach out and grab me. Fuck, man, it was rough.
Holy shit, man.
It was rough.
A couple big dudes like that, I think I'd be just making for the low ground, get out of the damn ring.
Oh, man, I wanted to.
I've also heard about Andre when he doesn't like somebody fucking with them during the match. I know, obviously he'd give you the giant haircut and stuff.
Yeah.
What other stuff was he doing? I heard he had like a gross strap or something he'd put on somebody.
He'd pull his strap off and choke you with it, except he'd put it in your mouth.
Ugh.
That strap that is full of piss and sweat and God knows what else. I know he got hacksaw with it one time, man. Just fun. Hacksaw damn near puked. It was nasty.
Oh, like if Andre is not diligently washing that every night when he gets to the hotel, that thing is just disgusting.
He never washed it.
Oh God, so gross.
He just took it off and threw it in his bag.
Guys, if you want to think about what that's like, why don't you stick a dirty sock in your mouth? Probably pretty similar.
That's not even close.
Not even as bad.
No, God, no.
Ugh, Lord.
Got to think about somebody's panties that weighs about 400. That have been worn for a week.
I don't want that imagery in my head. What did Hacksaw do to Andre?
Not a damn thing.
So Andre's just having some fun.
Yeah.
So Jake, for context, we're back on Studd. For context, in a normal match with a normal referee, what kind of duties does the referee undertake when it comes to managing the match, calling spots, timing, stuff like that?
Well, the referee's very important. He's got to have some type of order in the ring. If he doesn't have order in the ring, the match is not going to be good. So he's got to be respected for being a referee. The heel's got to back off, at the right time. And it's very important to have a good referee. John Studd was not a good referee.
Right, because he's massive for one thing, so that eliminates one aspect of having a ref. But then it's like, he can't mess with timing and stuff like that, can he?
He can get down quick on the mat and count 1, 2, 3. Hell, both guys would be back to their feet, and John would still be flapping like a seal.
The other thing that we hear is that like when it's time to wrap up the match or like, okay, it's, cues and stuff like that, the ref is pretty integral, right?
Yeah.
So like, having a guy like John out there who's just one of the boys, like it's got to fuck up a lot of stuff when it comes to how the goes down.
It did. Because, of course, he's trying to protect himself from Andre. That was the big thing.
Right.
He had to keep away from Andre.
So he can't even focus on his job as a ref. He's, trying to not get murdered by the real giant there.
Exactly.
Well, Jake, on 5 occasions, can't wait to hear you talk about this. On 5 occasions on the way to WrestleMania, you'll find yourself teamed up with none other than the Ultimate Warrior against Andre and Rick Rude. Jake, we know that you don't like tag team matches. How painful was this shit for you?
It was painful, man. You know, because my job was to go out and sell and turn it over to the Warrior. Lots of times, his comeback would be over by the time I got stood up in the corner.
Holy shit, man.
He'd come in and do, his running thing with 2 or 3 clotheslines on Rude. Then he'd hit Andre, and Andre would just stagger, Then he would tag out.
So after doing all the heavy lifting, you've got about 15 seconds before he tags you back in.
Exactly.
Oh my God. That had to be incredibly frustrating.
It was.
Now, and that was, so 5 occasions you did this, and same match every single time where you just do all of it and then tag him in for a minute.
Yeah.
At this point, is it like you and Jim have any relationship, or it's just see you in the ring, we'll figure it out sort of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
It had to be a little bit frustrating that this guy's getting protected and pushed while you are out there doing all of the damn work.
All the damn work, man.
Brutal. Well, unfortunately, it was only 5 times. This was not a long-term deal. Run DMC is there. Roddy Piper is back, and Morton Downey Jr. is doing a segment with Piper and Brother Love at WrestleMania 5. Jake, any memorable interactions with any of these personalities?
No. I just kept away from him, brother. I was doing my thing.
So you were not Jake the Snake Roberts is not a Run DMC fan?
No.
I'm shocked.
Oh, don't be.
So WrestleMania is going to draw a record money despite the much smaller crowd than WrestleMania 3. And the reason for that is that they jacked up the ticket pricing. So this is going to be one of the biggest live gates ever in the history of wrestling. And they drew 70,000 less people or something like that. So pretty incredible stuff.
Yeah, it is pretty wild that they jacked the money up. But look at it today, what it's gotten to.
Oh, yeah.
2
nights in an outdoor stadium.
Yeah.
Dude, wild. Another celebrity of note, of course, is going to be the future president of the United States and the owner of the building you were in, Donald Trump. So, Jake, after terrorizing his wife the year prior, did you have any other interesting interactions with Trump?
Not too much, man. We just jawed a little bit, and I got along with him great. Man. He loved me.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, he loves me, man.
What was it that connected you two right away?
I terrorized his wife. He absolutely loved it.
Pretty incredible.
He told me that she tried to get some of her security to come to my room and beat the shit out of me.
No shit.
Yeah, man. She was going to get payday. Did
the Don veto that shit?
Yeah.
So the future president of the U.S. saved your ass.
Damn sure did.
How about that? And guys, let's just think about this for a minute. Like Jake the Snake Roberts. I mean, you're like a real journeyman in wrestling. Here you are. You're bumping up against Muhammad Ali, Alice Cooper, and now you're with a guy who's going to be the leader of the free world. 30 years later.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, bro.
Yes, insane. Well, look, I didn't want to let it slip by here that Terry Taylor is rebranded as the Red Rooster in the fall of 1988 after Bobby Heenan became his manager. Normally getting managed by Bobby would probably be considered a good thing, except early in his Red Rooster stint, Taylor was described by Heenan as a novice wrestler who could not navigate his way through matches without constant instruction from Heenan. He's going to defeat Heenan at WrestleMania 5, but the match only lasts 31 seconds. So... man, the gimmick is bad enough, and now he's not even really getting a match at Mania? What the hell did Terry do to piss off the office?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Cock-a-doodle-doo, any cock-a-doo.
In your opinion, was his whole run here a rib, or do you think that Vince just has weird ideas for what might work?
It was a rib. It was a rib on Terry. It was for our entertainment.
Now, I know that, you were once told that Terry Taylor was higher up in the pecking order than you in Mid-South. So personally, how did you feel when you were seeing Terry floundering on the biggest stage in wrestling?
I loved it. Of course I loved it.
I know a lot of fans are going to hear that and say like, oh, well, that's hateful. But man, it's like, this is a super competitive business. You got kind of pushed down in favor
Yeah,
of this guy. And now here he is on a way bigger stage. And man, you can't blame you for feeling at least a little bit satisfied.
a little bit satisfied. I know, and I think most of the fans know that Terry was a good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
He could go out and give you a good match anytime you wanted. This Red Rooster thing was just wow. He pissed somebody off, is all I can say.
In your opinion, is there any way to make that gimmick work?
Fuck no.
It's fucked from day one, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you said it, Terry, good looking guy, good worker, decent on the mic. Like, why do you think Vince is cutting off his nose to spite his face here?
I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I'd sure like to know, but I don't know.
I won't ask you to try to climb inside the brain of Mr. McMahon and probably be a weird place.
It's a dangerous place these days.
It sure as hell is. Before we get into your match, though, Jake, let's talk about Hogan and Savage. A year-long program gets its big moment here. The Mega Powers explode at WrestleMania, and Hogan will defeat Savage to win the belt. Meltzer asserted that it was the wrong move because Savage was so red hot as a heel champion. It is traditionally a babyface territory, though. Jake, do you feel it was the right move to go put the belt back on Hogan?
I think you had to make the fans happy.
I mean, especially at a big show like that, Hogan's a proven draw.
That's your blow off. Mania is your blow off. So you gotta do what's right.
And I don't think it hurt Savage.
Fuck no.
I mean, a year-long story, though, crazy, pretty unheard of, especially nowadays. But all that being said, 35 years later, WrestleMania between Cody and Roman Reigns, that's a year-long storyline that seems like we're going to get our blow-off here at Mania. Do you think that these should happen more often, or is once every decade or longer the way to go with these long storylines?
I love the long storyline. Absolutely love them. So that's the way they should be.
So if it were up to you, would every storyline have like 8 months or a year or longer?
Not every storyline. No.
But main event?
Some of your main events. It just depends on the storyline. Is it something that can last that long? Are the guys able to carry it that long?
Mm.
You got to look at your talent that's doing it.
One that jumps out at me for you is you and Steamboat. I think there was a lot of tread left on the tires.
Yeah. And me and Savage.
Hell yes, man. That one, if circumstances had been different, easily a year-long storyline.
A year.
Well, let's get to your match. It's the anticipated blow-off between you and Andre, and it's at the biggest show in wrestling. Doesn't get much better, does it, dude?
Not for me.
Let's have a look at the final moments of this one. Okay, Jake getting up onto the apron here. Big John Studd's trying to back Andre off. Andre's got you in a headbutt. And, oh boy, what a bump down to the outside there. You're down and out. Oh, but Big John having some words with Andre. Holy smokes, you can really see the difference in size between these two. By the way, guys, you can watch this match in its entirety on WWE Network. So definitely go and check it out to kind of get yourself set up here for what we're talking about. Jake, you're getting back up to your feet. Heenan's trying to point it out, but you're going for that bag with Damian. All right, Big John. Looks like he's going to be fair. He's trying to get you to knock it off. Ooh, and he gets a squisher from Andre in the corner. Oh, he's not putting up with that shit. Big John turns around and gives Andre a shove. Meanwhile, you're out there trying to decide if you want to bring out Damian or not. Oh, DiBiase and Virgil come out. Ted is that bastard. He's grabbing the bag, and he is running way up the aisle there. You're giving chase. Back in the ring. Oh, Andre's got a hold of Big John Studd. We got a split screen going on. You're brawling with DiBiase, and you've got Damian back. Andre's beating the dog shit out of Big John Studd. Oh, he's choking him. And here you come with that bag. There we go. That'll scare Andre off. You throw the snake into the ring. Andre bails. Yeah, he's gone. That's enough for Andre. All right, your hand is raised in victory. And that's it. Jake the Snake Roberts defeats Andre the Giant at WrestleMania. All right, 35 years later, Jake, anything jump out at you?
Yeah. I was getting my ass kicked. And I'll tell you, DiBiase didn't do me any favors either, grabbing that snake and running way down the aisle.
Oh, because you were already tired.
Yeah, I was already tired. Now I got to grab it and carry it back.
Do you think that was a rib from DiBiase?
Sure it was.
Later on this same week as this episode drops, I'm going to be talking to Ted about this event. So I'm going to make sure to ask him if that was a rib on you.
Yeah, dude. If he says it wasn't, call him a liar.
I mean, as you mentioned it, pretty clear-cut setup for you and Ted, and Andre was stud coming out of this. How do you feel about moving on to a program with DiBiase coming out of this one with Andre?
That was good news for me, man. That was great news for me.
Just because of the nature of the matches with Andre, where it's not going to be a technical situation?
Right. And I wanted to get in there and go, man.
Mm.
And DiBiase, I could do that with. I'd had my run with Andre. I think it was time for it to blow off. And hey, look at me, WrestleMania V. Who did I beat? Andre the Giant.
Dude, what a thing on your resume. One of the biggest WrestleManias of all time, and you beat a dude who's become a true, he transcends wrestling culture. It's pop culture icon.
Absolutely.
Well, if you had it your way, would anything have been different about this match?
Sure, I would have press slammed Andre.
Wouldn't that be a nice finish?
Yeah, one-handed.
Do you think a clean finish would have made more sense? You just get him with the DDT?
I think the right thing was done.
Yeah.
Got enough out of it.
You protect Andre, let him keep his heat going into his thing with stud.
There's no need to beat Andre.
Well, how about looking back on the entire rivalry with Andre? Anything you'd change?
No, he did a fantastic job, man. Being limited, I was able to work around him, and that was the reason it was done, because they knew I could work around him.
Okay, everybody, time to take a little break to talk about a sponsor that I am obsessed with. I love these guys. Of course, I'm talking about our friends over at Mando. And, buddy, they have got you covered head to toe, especially during a season where you're going to be sweating and dealing with heat and an awful lot of stink potential. It's the dog days of summer. We're on our way out. It's August now officially. However, it's still really hot out there. I've mentioned it here on the show before. I'm now a professional wrestler. And when I'm getting into the ring in a B-Dubs parking lot, which I did recently, and I'm actually going to go do again this week, man, that ring gets really hot. I'm sweating as I'm making my entrance before I've even taken a bump. And I need something that is going to help me out so I'm not stinking the place up, not just for my opponents, but how about meeting some fans afterwards? My goodness. I'm not trying to be out there smelling like the monkey house at the zoo. And Mando is there to help me out. Mando blocks odor all day. It controls sweat too. It's powerful on pits, but gentle on your skin. This is not your typical drugstore stick. This is a high-performance pit shield. Now, look, when I'm not in the ring, I'm also just doing regular dad and husband and human stuff. I'm outside grilling, or I'm up on the roof trying to clean out my gutters. I'm weeding. I'm, mowing the lawn, outside trying to play with my kids. And Mando covers me for every occasion. So not only intense workouts like being in the ring, but just out there living life. No matter what the circumstance is, Mando keeps my pits fresh and dry. All right, if you guys are watching here on YouTube, I got to show this thing off again. This is the 72-hour odor and sweat control deodorant stick, and this, of course, is in my favorite. It's that bourbon leather scent. I think that this is my third stick of this deodorant, and I'm not stopping. That is my go-to. It's in my gear bag for wrestling. It's in my bathroom upstairs just for personal use. Mando covers every single base when it comes to making sure that I smell the way I want to smell for an extended period of time. I don't care if they're sponsoring my podcast or not. I am always going to be a Mando user. And if you give them a shot, you're going to find out why. Mando was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It is clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. All products are baking soda free and paraben free, and you can choose from a wide variety of scents. Of course, I've mentioned it a million times. The bourbon leather is the one I love. They've also got Clover Woods, they've got Mount Fuji or Pro Sport. If you're looking to go try America's #1 whole body deodorant formula right now, you can find them over at Walmart or Target and other retailers across the country. But for the best deals, you've got to go to shopmando.com and use our code SNAKE. You'll get 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. If you're new to Mando, the perfect place to start is the starter pack. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like the mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And again, guys, we've got this special offer. So there's super low risk here and huge reward when it comes to you figuring out what Mando is all about. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code SNAKE at shopmando.com. Again, it's 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. One more time, go to shopmando.com, shopmando.com. Please support our show. Tell them that we sent you. Use that code SNAKE. You get 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. Mando's got you covered. Protect your pits and smell great doing it. Jake Roberts versus Ted DiBiase feud was set up when Jake pinned Virgil with a DDT, then took the money away from Virgil and stuffed some in his mouth and gave some away to fans until DiBiase jumped in. Jake also received a new 100-pound snake, is the note at the time. Jake, you had been dealing with neck issues. Are you about over it with these fucking heavy-ass snakes?
Yeah, man, they were killing me, bro. It's not only the fact that you have to carry it to the ring, but, I'm with that thing 24/7. So in the morning I woke up, I had to stuff it in a bag, get it out of the bathtub, stuff it in the bag, put it in a trunk, then carry the trunk and all my luggage down to the front desk, catch the shuttle, or if I've got a rental car, put the stuff in the rental car, drive to the airport, get out at the rental car place, carry all that stuff inside to the airport. I'm carrying 200 pounds of luggage.
Oh my God.
Every morning, every afternoon, because I'd fly someplace, have to go to the carousel and get the damn snake and my luggage off of there and carry it to the rental car again. So carrying that around was really tough on you. It really, really was, man. You figure, well, you got a 100-pound snake, but you got your other gear too, You got your wrestling gear and your clothes and stuff. So there's another 50, 60 pounds there. So getting that around was not easy. Plus that big case that it was in was very cumbersome, man. So it wasn't a pleasure trip at all, man. It wasn't easy to be a snake.
Man, and here's the other thing is that you hear all the time how the guys say like, "Oh, just being on the road, it's you're a big guy. A lot of these guys are, and you're on the road, and it's like just sitting in a car is uncomfortable. Being on a plane is uncomfortable. You're traveling with the snake, and you're taking bumps once you get to the destination.
Yeah.
How much do you think this did contribute to the neck issues you're about to have here?
Oh my God! Well, we know what started all of that. It was a guitar shot.
Yes, the Honky Tonk Man in '87.
Yeah, once that was done, it was downhill from there, man. I like so many others, including Paul Orndorff, did the foolish thing. I kept trying to work through the pain,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. That also helped with my addiction because I was taking all sorts of everything just to numb myself enough where I could go out and work. But then, of course, after the match, you got to take yourself down. So you have to take some more.
Oh man.
So it was a constant battle trying to play that fiddle and not break any chords. But I broke them all. I broke them all because just there's no way of winning there. Once you're injured, man. You might as well face it. Go ahead and take care of it. Had I done that, and I would have probably been out several months, but I would have came back a whole lot better than I did.
Right.
And because my issue was, I went a couple of years like that, and it finally got so bad that I could not lift my left arm at all. And I would go to the ring and I would turn my body sideways and I would sling my arm up onto the guy's shoulder and tell him from the very get-go, work on my arm. And then he'd grab my wrist and he'd start working on my arm, pounding on my arm, pounding on my arm. Now I don't have to raise it.
Oh man.
See?
Yeah.
Because it was hard for me just to reach up to hook. I'd have to grab my tights so I could DDT somebody
Oh.
because I couldn't hold it.
So that's scary, especially considering you brought up Paul Orndorff, and we all know what happened to him. His one arm withered. Arn Anderson, his left, he can't use his left hand.
Same thing for me, man. His left arm.
So I do have to ask too. Was your neck injured this entire period of time from 87 to 89?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it's just getting progressively worse.
Oh my God, the pain just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And wouldn't you know, the one thing that's easy on everybody else was nearly killing me every time I did it. And to do a DDT hurt so bad when I did it.
Because you're snapping back.
Yeah. I was having to take that bump. When I took that bump, it would just jar down my spinal column, man. It just, a few times my legs went numb.
Oh,
that was scary.
Yes.
Just for 3 or 4 seconds. But man, that 3 or 4 seconds seems like an hour. Because your legs go numb, you're like, oh no, not that. Then they're back. It's okay. Whew, that was close. Yeah. How close was I getting crippling myself? I don't know.
Man,
I don't know.
Probably closer and closer every time you did that.
Every time I did it, man. Every time I did it, just made it worse.
It's frightening. And
I was afraid to get out of the ring. I was afraid that if I got out of the ring, that I wouldn't be able to get back in. That makes no sense at all. I know, but that's just that's the way an athlete thinks. He thinks that if he puts the boots on the shelf for 6 months, they'll never come back off the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the way it is. But in wrestling, it's a well-known fact that, brother, if you take time off, getting back in there is not going to be as easy as it was the first time, because there's going to be people in there that have taken your spot. People might not understand that. Everybody's got a spot in this business. Where does Jake fit in? Well, right now, Jake is one step below Hogan. That's my spot.
Yep.
But if I step out, well, they've got to put somebody back in there.
And what if they're rolling with that guy by the time you return?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now you're sitting on the bench going, damn, I shouldn't have got out of the ring. That's the way your brain thinks.
Well, and it makes sense, especially in that era. There's no guarantees.
It does, man. And that's what everybody was afraid of. I'm not the only one that wrestled hurt. I mean, hell, I broke my wrist one time while I was wrestling up there. But I fell in the damn shower at the hotel. Imagine that. And broke my wrist. They put a cast on it. And then I went to wrestle in New York. And they would not let me wrestle with a cast on. It was against the rules. So I cut the cast off in the back, put tape on it, and then continued to wrestle with a broken wrist.
And the risk you take there is like it could heal improperly, and then you'd really, really be in trouble.
Oh yeah.
But you're not thinking about it because you're not a salaried employee.
No, man.
If you don't work, you don't get paid.
That's it, bro.
Scary. And you know what? Your injuries are really starting to manifest themselves at this time.
Yeah, they are.
Meltzer's got it in the Observer on 5/15/89 that you and Ted worked at a show that consisted mostly of rest holds, but before you cradled DiBiase for the victory, and a week later you'd be out of action with your neck injury. I have to believe that this is, as we've been talking about, like you've just reached a point now where you're like, I can't
Yeah,
keep doing this.
I couldn't do it anymore, man. It got to the point that I was in such pain that it was just crazy. I mean, it's like I'd be okay till I got in the ring. Then once I got in the ring, I'd start thinking about giving that DDT at the end. And you heard by Meltzer there that I cradled him
Hmm.
for a 1, 2, 3. I didn't even do the DDT because the pain was just so unbelievable whenever I do it, and there was no getting around it. And it finally got to the point that Vince told me, he said, "Go home and don't come back to your well."
Well,
He
yeah.
was he was genuinely pissed off at me.
Well, I mean, was he paying you while you were away, Vince?
Huh?
so, it's hard for
That's
him to
a
look at.
silly question.
I knew the answer before I asked. It's hard for him
Yeah,
to see it from other people's perspectives. I know.
yeah, and it was tough, man, going home and having the surgery, and then the first thing the doctor tells me is that you'll never wrestle again.
Scary.
And I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean? Oh, you'll never wrestle again. There's no way that we're going to be able to clear you. Your neck will never be strong enough for you to get back in the ring. And I remember what I said to him. I told him, it's a chemical world, Doc, and you don't have a fucking clue. And as soon as I got out of the hospital and got well enough to travel, I flew to Amsterdam and picked up a few packages of stuff and steroids and what have you, and flew back home and got through immigration without getting busted. And that's the only time I ever did it. And right, trust me.
Yeah. Well, you had mentioned
Back in the day that everybody used to give me all their dope
what to
and their
hold.
steroids, and I would put it in the snake bag, and it would go across in the snake bag. Only one time did they want to see inside that bag. And I nearly shit myself when they said they wanted to see the snake. I said, okay, you guys get him out because he's one mad son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to know that you're probably going to get fucking bit. But go ahead. There he is. Go ahead. I'm not doing it. And they looked at the bag. And all they seen was that snake, and it was a big one, about 100-pounder, 120-pounder.
Mm-hmm.
And they just looked at it and went, oh, fuck, never mind. That's good. Go ahead.
So this is before the days of them like being able to scan all your shit.
Well, they scanned me before, and this was crazy. I went overseas. I can't remember if it was England or no, it wasn't England. It was Singapore.
Mm.
Singapore, and I had the Cobra in a Halliburton suitcase, small Halliburton,
Yeah.
and they scanned it, and I'm looking at the scanner and it's showing all the bones, and they want me to open it. I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So I open it. The guy looks down at it, grabs the bag and picks it up and looks underneath the bag and moves some papers around and scratches his head, puts it back down and tells me to go.
Wow.
Picked it up.
Whew.
It's like, you dumb fuck.
And I'm guessing you're sweating bullets in the meantime.
Oh my God. I knew I was going to jail.
Right.
I'm going to jail, guys. See you later.
You had to feel like the luckiest man on the planet that
go
day.
ahead. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Whew.
Well, the other side of it, what if that was a bomb?
Yeah.
I mean, my God, is that the best you check? That's why when I go through security, I have a hard time now because I have to bring the oxygen up for the airplane. But they got to test that damn thing every time. And they want to see inside my bag every time. I don't get pissed off about that. I'm glad they're checking shit.
Right.
You know, people that get furious, man. Oh, you're showing it's not a fucking thing in my fucking bag. Are you kidding me? You know, dude, shut the fuck up. They're doing a job.
Yep.
And it's a job that might pay off if you keep your mouth shut. You know,
Well, the one time you don't check the wrong dude,
there you go, man.
you could have a huge
Yeah,
crisis.
no
Uh,
shit.
so Meltzer goes out of his way a lot at this time to put over DiBiase. He actually says he considers him probably the best wrestler in the world outside of Japan. Of course, he has to throw that in there. But what do you think made DiBiase so special at this time?
I don't know. I didn't know that.
Oh, really? Well, as somebody who is working with him consistently, what do you think made
uh,
him such a pro?
Ted was always easy for me. Ted listened to me. You know, we just went out there and did our stuff, man.
Mm,
You know, nothing less, nothing more. You know, went out and had our matches, and Ted was a consummate heel. You know, Ted had an easy way of just making you hate his ass. You know,
hmm
he was arrogant, and he pulled it off pretty damn good. But as far as being the best in the world, God,
Pretty high praise from Meltzer,
yeah,
especially at that time.
well, yeah, well, there again, Meltzer.
Yeah, so there's that caveat to consider.
Yeah,
I mentioned earlier that you'd be out of action shortly hereafter, and you talked about a guy sliding in to take your place. Well, Roddy Piper would come in and make his
yeah,
return and take your place with DiBiase here. Here's what Meltzer had to say in the 522 issue in '89. As expected, Piper's return popped the crowds in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Sacramento like crazy, with his match with DiBiase actually getting significantly more heat in each city than the Hogan Savage main event, which packed the buildings. Piper wins these matches with the same finish sequence that DiBiase had been doing with Roberts around the horn. He also reports here that you would undergo surgery on your
yeah.
neck, and it's unconfirmed how long you'll be out of action. You would undergo not one but two surgeries here, as it turns out, in mid 1989, and would be out of action for something like 5 months to
Yeah,
recover.
yeah.
So we talked about that nervousness of somebody taking your place. It had to be full force right now, right?
Oh yeah, man. It just come to fruition, didn't it? You
hmm
know, we're so foolish. So sometimes we think that if we don't show up, the show won't go on. You know,
Right,
the show will go on. You don't have to worry about that.
with or without you.
They'll find a different pony to run. And you know, Piper was the guy that slid in there and collected some hellacious paydays.
Yep. Sure did, and it's DiBiase was the number one heel in the company, and as you mentioned, he was great at it. I know you weren't crazy about being a baby face, but you were good at it, and so
Yeah,
now all of a sudden you find yourself on the outside looking in. It's got to be frustrating.
it's very frustrating, man. I've never liked a day off.
A lot of guys in this era had Lloyd's of London policies for their insurance. Was that something you ever considered?
No, I didn't consider that. I'm too honest to do that.
I'll tell you what, a lot of guys really took advantage of it,
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
and I don't think that Lloyd's of London insures professional wrestlers.
I don't think they do it anymore.
No, sir.
No, no, those guys broke them. I think DiBiase's one of them.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
he
that
collected.
Kurt Hennig, a couple other guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
Road Warriors,
yeah, that's right. Them
and
too.
one of them had to give the money back.
Oh my God. I know that Rick Rude tried to convince Eric Bischoff to pay off his policy so he could get back into action. And Eric's like, I don't want anything to do with that. So at this point, you were a really well established character in the company. You had merchandise everywhere, toys everywhere. You were legitimately, as I always say on this podcast, you were part of pop culture now. So,
Yeah,
I mean, your concerns, do you think that they were founded at the time, or I mean, was there just always a position for you, period?
it it wouldn't matter what the truth was. It's how a person feels,
hmm
you know. And if you're not the main ingredient going in the soup, you always want to be.
Right.
You know, if it's beef stew, I want to be the beef. I don't want to be the potato, sort of speaking. You know, and it it didn't matter how many people told me I was the greatest. I never believed it. I've never believed that I was good.
Really?
And now looking back, I realize that damn, I was pretty fucking good. You know, and I look back some of the matches now, and God damn, I don't remember that, but that's pretty fucking good. You know, and I just, you know, I that comes from what I went through as a kid, man. That's the problem.
Hmm.
You know, not being loved as a child and not being uh, patted on the back. You know, my father not ever giving me that thumbs up.
Man, it's a shame, especially because of the light that we see you in. And one of the reasons that I always try to add clips to our shows is because after that first show that you and I did, I was watching you watching yourself, and I could
Yeah.
tell that it was something you had forgotten about, and you were like, "Oh
Oh
shit, how
yeah.
about this?" So yeah, we've
Yeah.
we've got one more clip this week, and that's peek behind the curtain. That's why. So Piper came in, but he's not the only one. Guess who else is coming in at this time is a couple of JCP standouts with Dusty Rhodes and your old pal Barry Windham are coming up north to the WWF. So I know that you had worked with both guys previously and had some really
Yeah.
great moments with each. How are you feeling when you heard this news that
Oh,
your old
I
pals are
was
coming in?
glad to hear those guys were coming north, man. I mean, Barry Windham and I, man, I look back at those matches I had with him as some of the key matches that formed my career for me as a heel. Some of the matches I had with Barry were just unbelievable, man. And we'd go out and do 40 minutes every night like it was nothing. You know, and it was just crazy. Of course, we were young and dumb and full of cum too. So there you go.
Well, he was coming in as a heel, so are you seeing this like, hey, when I get back, maybe me and Barry again?
Oh, I thought that in the beginning, and then started seeing where they were going and realized that wasn't going to happen.
With his Widowmaker gimmick?
Yeah,
Boy,
yeah.
boy, that was bad. And my next question is actually something even worse. So here's the legendary Dusty Rhodes, a guy that you had worked with in Florida and
Hmm.
established this incredible reputation. And Vince has got him in these vignettes, plunging toilets,
Oh
delivering
my
pizzas,
God.
and dressing ultimately in polka dots. Was it
Yeah.
was it your perception that Vince held grudges against guys like Dusty who had
Sure.
success elsewhere?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And the whole thing was to humiliate Dusty, you know, and but Dusty was so good he pulled it off,
he did. He did.
you know. And you don't think that didn't bite Vince's ass?
It had to.
Holy shit, what do I have to do to make this motherfucker die?
Right. Yeah, to your point, it's everybody's got these like hot valets during the
Oh
series. Like
yeah.
I'm giving him Sapphire, and he
Yeah.
makes it work, and she
He
becomes a
made it
fan favorite.
work.
Yeah,
He made it work, man. And that's the magic of Dusty Rhodes. You know, I mean, you hear me say every now and then I can wrestle a broomstick. Well, so could Dusty.
hmm
But I don't know if you could dress me up in poke. Well, I don't know. I got lime green. I pulled off the lime green shit pretty good.
yeah, you made it work.
Yeah, I made it work. But it just
Just
goes to show you something there. It doesn't matter how they dress you up. It's still the meat and the pie, man, that makes the sandwich. And that's nothing but filet.
that's it. And the only thing I'll say in defense of that bullshit is that Dusty, he was coming in during an era where it's these over the top cartoonish characters, and
Yeah.
previously he was just like the black trunks and boots guy, and Vince was probably like, "What else can I do?" and maybe humiliate him a little bit along the way.
Oh, he did. He went full bore, man, because that was never the plan.
Well, he did a good job, and something that was probably not a great job was that during your absence at this time, it's summer of 1989, and it's the release of No Holds Barred, the movie.
Oh,
Vince McMahon is getting into the movie business. What did you think?
oh yeah. You know, when I started hearing some of the stories of the filming of that thing, I cringed because now they have totally smartened up everybody because they're having them go out and do stuff in the ring, then pause 30 seconds, do the exact same thing again.
Oh no.
They've killed kayfabe forever. That was the final nail in the coffin, man, as far as kayfabe goes. Because I felt sorry for the poor people that had to sit in those damn buildings for 8 and 10 hours in a seat for whatever they made. Good God Almighty! What a rib on the people. get them to sit there for hours upon hours of watching the same fucking shit.
Brutal.
It would have been bad enough if it was good shit to watch, but it wasn't even good shit to watch. It was horrible shit.
I've heard about Vince on like TV tapings. If something happened and he didn't like
Oh,
what happened in the match, he'd send them
yeah,
out and they do the exact same match, just like change the finish or
right,
whatever.
right.
Like the
He
and
wouldn't change the finish.
the fans are gonna be like, "What the fuck is happening right now?"
Yeah,
Right?
they don't understand it,
No.
and it just goes to show you where the fans are at, man. They know it's phony. They know it's fake. Don't worry about it, guys. They love what you're doing.
Hmm.
It's the boys that get upset, not the fans.
Well, did you think that Vince was gonna wind up having some success in the movie business, or not so much?
No, 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 no.
That it's proved out
Well,
that he hasn't. I mean,
yeah, he has it because he won't release enough control to let enough people get behind it that can actually do the job right.
hmm.
Vince has to have his paw in it, man.
So Vince is in the movie business, but here's what else is going on: is the same summer, your old buddy Terry Funk is in Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. Um,
Yeah.
as you're seeing this, are you like, hey, my neck hurts, but I'm pretty famous.
Yeah.
Should I talk to my agent about movies?
No, man, I never thought I was good enough. I never had an agent. Are you kidding me?
Oh, you didn't.
No, that's how stupid I am. To this day, I've never had an agent.
Well, you came from the era of handshake deals, though, so I
Yeah.
do understand it. All right, so Jake, along with the movie at this time, you've also got a new talent that's coming in, and that's Tommy Lister coming in to play Zeus.
Oh God.
Now I've heard Arn Anderson mention on his podcast, Arn, which is part of our network. You guys should check it out. That there's some resentment among the talent when it came to this actor. And not just because it's an actor kind of breaking into your business, but apparently he's rumored to be making something like $1,000 a day, traveling everywhere in a limo, great hotels, and the
Oh
whole
yeah.
works.
He got
Um,
carte blanche, man.
so what did you think of this situation?
I thought it sucked.
I'll
You know. I mean, yeah, we're all jealous of that position, man. We all like to have that position. He's finally being treated the way we should all be treated,
Mhm.
but none of us are. Huh.
Man, he got the hookup coming in the door and was not a good worker. Most of his matches
Oh
would
my
get
God,
DQ'd
horrendous!
immediately. Oh
And
God.
close your eyes, man. But what a
Well,
look! He
he's
had a look.
massive, massive guy. His arms legitimately look bigger than Hogan's when they're standing
Oh, they
next to each
were.
other. Yeah, so I mean, you can see what Vince sees in him, but man, it's like DQ finishes,
Oh
non-finishes, just
yeah.
awful,
He
awful
couldn't.
stuff.
He couldn't fight his way out of a trash bag.
Nice guy. Did you get to talk to him at all?
I always got along fine with the guy, man. I mean, I didn't take it out on him the way he was being treated. Vince was the one treating him that way.
Hmm.
I mean, I think most of the guys, well, no, there were some guys that hated him just for the fact that he was a human being.
Hmm.
It don't take much to piss the boys off, but
It's-
that's just the way it was.
That's immediate heat coming in the door, getting the limo treatment and guaranteed money, though. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, he could walk, he could fart, he could do anything he wanted, man.
Must be nice. Well, Jake, you're still out, and if your neck injury isn't bad enough, there's a little legal issue at this time as well.
Yeah.
We've got this from the 724 Observer. Jake Roberts was released from prison earlier this week after posting $10,000 bond. Originally, the judge had refused to grant Roberts bail, stemming from his conviction last week on assault and battery charges stemming from an incident last December. Roberts will be sentenced on the charges on August 14th. The maximum sentence would be 15 years in prison, although the guidelines on the state gives for the first offender in Florida are a prison sentence of 12 to 30 months. Titan is desperately trying to cover this one up. By sheer coincidence, they had been planning to start a television campaign for the kids to send get well cards to Jake to help build up for the next souvenir bulk mailing, who legitimately is out of action due to his recent neck injury. However,
Right.
this could be a PR problem if word got out that that they were having kids send get well cards to a wrestler who was in prison at the time. Roberts
I
was
always fuck up everything, don't I?
right. I know they had a lot of success with that, sending stuff away for Hogan while he was hurt and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, you really threw a wrench in the works. Roberts was convicted of punching John Bartlett, 27, a 5'7", 160-pound man. After the two were bar hopping earlier in the evening in Daytona Beach. Bartlett claimed that Roberts was driving as they were headed to an after-hours club at about 4 a.m., and Roberts made some nasty comment about a woman in Daytona Beach. Bartlett argued with him. Roberts stopped the car and punched Bartlett out. Roberts claimed he was acting in self-defense. Bartlett suffered a broken cheekbone in 4 places and a broken bone around the eye. Interestingly enough, testifying on behalf of Roberts were Tully Blanchard and Bruce Brotherlove Pritchard. However, the jury took less than 2 hours to come up with the verdict. Blah, blah, blah. So, Jake, broken cheekbone in 4 places and a broken orbital bone. Remind me not to fucking piss you off, dude.
Yeah, I guess not, man. Here's the thing. That 5'7" guy, once he was truly exposed as to what he really was, he was a real piece of work, man.
Oh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He claimed to be a boxer, this, that, and the other, and in the service, and did this. He fought for his country because he's an all-American boy. And he claimed that he had broken both hands boxing. And actually what happened was he fell off the back end of a garbage truck and broke both of his hands. He was garbage detail in the service because they didn't trust him doing anything else. My lawyers, my first trial, I'd gotten some bad advice and had hired a guy that had an obvious drug problem. And he fell asleep during my trial.
Oh my God.
That's not a good thing to see when you look over and your fucking lawyer is snoozing.
That is not good.
No. And Bartlett, his lawyers, they had schooled him really well and told him exactly what to say, this, that, and the other. The fact was, my version is a little bit different than his. What was happening was I was trying to get him back to his house because he was drunk and out of control. And, telling people, "This is Jake the Snake Roberts. Come over here. Come here, sweetheart. Come sit in his lap." This, that, and the other. I'm like, man, get this bullshit away from me, man. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to drink, So I got him to the car, and then I was driving down the road, and he punches me in the face while I'm driving.
What the hell?
Well, not in the face, in the side of the cheek. So I pull over. Well, when I pull over, he jumps out, runs around the car, jerks my car door open, then grabs me by the hair and starts dragging me out.
Oh.
Well, I bitch slapped him.
So you didn't even punch him, you just slapped him?
Slapped him. He laughed. He laughed and took off running down the street. Now, he didn't go to the hospital. He went to the lawyer's office 48 hours later.
Wow.
48 hours. And then he went to the hospital. Does it take long to figure this out?
No. So you slapped him, and then he went and injured himself intentionally?
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly, brother. I swear to God, I did not punch that guy. On my children's lives, on my life, the whole shit and caboodle on my mother's grave, I did not punch that guy. In fact, that motherfucker sent me a thank you card.
Did he?
After the settlement was paid.
Oh,
thanks for my new house, Jake.
Fuck this guy.
Oh, that motherfucker.
Damn, dude. This is one of those moments where maybe being a celebrity isn't always great, right?
It's not, man. Being a celebrity, you're marked, man. It's even worse today, man, with all these friggin' cameras they got going. People will set your ass up. It happens. It's really bad in England.
Oh,
The
really?
newspapers over there are really bad about doing it. They'll have some guy in a bar and they'll send some girl to run in there and you just run over and jump in his fucking arms and then put your mouth on his face and we're going to get a picture of it.
What? Why?
So then it comes out in the fucking newspaper that you're fucking around on your old lady.
And then they can extort you with it. Say like, hey,
They
well, we don't
no,
have to
they
pay
just
for
they
it.
just do it to bring their fucking ratings up.
That is unbelievable.
But they've been busted several times for doing that.
Wow.
Well, now not only newspapers are doing it, but your normal fans are doing it. Are you
Has a
fucking kidding me?
has a fan ever pulled any shit like that with you? Maybe not
Oh
necessarily the
fuck
kiss.
yeah!
The kiss?
Oh, not the kiss. No, but I've been like tried to sucker punch me and shit like that. Oh yeah.
Dude.
You know what I do? I put my hands in my fucking pocket
Yep. It's
because
the
it
only
doesn't
smart thing.
matter if I'm retaliating or what. I get in front of a judge. Well, that's what was so funny during the trial. If you read the transcripts, they said, how could you be afraid of this guy? I'm like, wait a minute. And they said, no, seriously, Jake, how could you be afraid of Mr. Bartlett or whatever his name was? He's 5'7" because you wrestled Andre the Giant, and he's 7 foot what? He's 7'5", and you were afraid of Mr. Bartlett. And my answer to that was, do you think I'm really fighting Andre the Giant? And you work for the state? You're a stupid motherfucker. I'm not fighting Andre the Giant. Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah, they played that shit up. You make millions of dollars wrestling on television. Oh, really? Here's what I make wrestling on television. I make $50 fucking dollars for wrestling on television because that's what the going price was back then.
Right?
$50 for every match. So if I work 3 matches on a taping, do I get 150? No, you just get 50. You just get 50. That's right.
Wow.
That's the honest to God truth. Enhancement talent would get $500 a match.
What?
Yeah, they would get $500 a match.
So they were making more than the main event
The top talent.
How did that work? Like, how do you get paid then? Like your actual money following all this? Is it just like
check.
people? Okay, so you're getting cold hard cash at these buildings for this payoff?
You were allowed to draw money out every night against your check.
Okay.
You could draw up to $200.
I got you.
But what we did at TV, you just walk by, they just toss you a $50 bill and you say, gee, thanks. Keep right on fucking walking.
Well, I do want to ask at this time, I mean, the neck injury, you mentioned earlier, a little bit of concern about other guys taking your spot. Now this legal shit, are you like, I'm fucked? Are you thinking your job is over?
Oh my God, man. I'm thinking I'm done.
Oh man.
I'm scared to death. Scared to fucking death, man.
Understandably so. And I do have a little bit here of what you said whenever they brought up that, hey, look, you're a wrestler, you're used to violence in the ring. In the 1-8 Observer, Meltzer goes on to say that you said, I'm more of an actor than a fighter. And I'm wondering, was there any heat with Vince or anybody backstage? Like, Kayfabe was still alive?
No.
Not at all.
Nope, nobody said anything to me.
I mean, hopefully they understand. You're just trying to get yourself out of a very weird situation.
Oh my God, brother.
It does say that you were on parole. Went on parole during this period. And this is just literal ignorance, so maybe you can smart me up. How exactly does it work when you're on probation, rather, when you're on probation and they travel, like you travel from state to state for a living?
Yeah, well, I had to get a special permit to do all that. Yeah. But now, knowing this, at that time, if I'd gotten pulled over for fucking a joint, I'd have went to prison for 15 years.
Oh my God, man.
If I'd gotten a barroom fight, I'd have went to prison for 15 years. So I literally put my fucking hands in my pockets.
The only way out of it.
That's the only way I could do it, man.
So what was, if you don't mind my asking, what was your drug use like at this time? Did you dial it back for fear of getting pinched with
No, fuck
something on
no,
you?
man.
No?
I kept right on going, brother.
Wow.
Did what I
Um,
had to do.
it's addiction, man.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not a fun trip, man.
well, in the 9/11 edition of The Observer, it's known that you made your return to the WWF to do interviews at the TV tapings. I have your return appearance. It's about a 2-minute clip in our final clip of the week. I wanted this because the reaction that you get when you return is unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back, after an absence that has been much too long, one of the great ones in the World Wrestling Federation, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh, what a response. And it's great to see Jake the Snake back with us.
And Stanley.
And look how big Damien got.
Oh, my goodness.
Jake Roberts, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, solely responsible for you being out of wrestling for the past few months. He says it's much too soon for you to return to the ring for action with him.
You know, maybe he talked to doctors, and maybe he talked to a lot of people, but maybe he should have talked to my psychiatrist, because I'm a little bit different than anybody else. Sure, I've got numbness in my fingers, and I've got a weaker left arm, and the neck's a little bit stiff when I try to turn it due to the operation. But DiBiase, the stiffness and the numbness and the weakness are nothing compared to the hatred that sits behind these cold eyes, my man. Or the fire that spews ashes out of my brain each and every time I think of you.
Jake Roberts. Jake, I have talked to physicians. I've seen the doctor's report.
Concentrate, Gene.
And it's quite clear to me that makes me nervous. I got to tell you, makes me nervous. It's quite clear to me, Jake Roberts, that you may not be ready to get back to action. It may be too soon.
I tell you what, let DiBiase grab a hold of the snake and let him tell you if I'm ready or not. I'll tell you this. Ted DiBiase, Damien and I are not responsible for bringing you into this lovely world, but we'll damn sure be the ones that take you out.
Wait a minute, Jake Roberts. The $1 Million Man has said many times he advises you not to return to the ring and go against him.
Gene, the obsession that burns within my heart each and every day can only tell Ted DiBiase one thing.
What's that?
Dial 911.
I can't believe it. Jake the Snake Roberts.
Wow. That is
Not a
one
bad
hell of a
pop.
reaction. My God, dude. Just an insane reaction. I mean, that has to feel great coming back to that.
That felt pretty good now. There for a moment, I thought I was a superstar.
I would say you were pretty well established there with that kind of reaction. Holy shit! I mean, what is Vince saying whenever you get backstage after something like that? Like, okay, we need to ratchet you back up.
He doesn't say nothing.
No,
No, he wants you to keep doubting yourself, man. Are you kidding me?
What a shame! If the unbelievable perspective, like you've got this guy who's obviously beloved, and that's your take on it. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Did you have any apprehensions when it came to getting back in the ring again?
No, none at all.
Was your neck like essentially 100%?
No, it wasn't.
But
I was told not to ever wrestle again.
But you were just dying to get back in there.
I said, I'm doing it, man. Fuck you.
Has it plagued you?
Yeah.
Like, would you say it's plagued you to this day?
Oh yeah. The weakness gets worse each year. Not near as strong on my left side as I am on my right. I can't lay down, and if I lay on a flat table, my head won't touch the table.
Wow,
my neck won't bend.
That's got to be scary.
This is as far as it will turn that way, and that's as far as it turns that way.
And you said
that's as far up as I can look.
Oh.
And that's as far down as I can look. But looking up is impossible.
And you said you feel like it gets worse still every day all
Oh
the time?
yeah.
That's frightening, man.
It is, but it's where I'm at, man. And you know, that's life. You know, I mean, you roll up and down these roads and you take a beating and you get back out there and you do it one more time because you love it, because you want it, and because you know you want to make those fans out there happy, and that's just what you do. And you know, you throw caution to the wind each and every day when you walk out that door, man. Are you kidding me? I'm not the only fool taking chances. Every time you walk outside your door, you're taking a chance. Every time you get in your automobile, you're taking a chance.
Yep.
Hell, some guy might piss you off, or some guy may get pissed off because of something you done in your car, and you might not even be aware of what you did. But he'll pull up beside you and pull a gun out and shoot your stupid ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you don't even know what the fuck was going on. Life isn't life's highly overrated. It really is, man, because it's cheap. Life is cheap.
I would venture to guess that you wouldn't give back any one of your bumps, though.
No.
You know, for better neck health, right?
No.
Satisfied with how it all worked out.
Yeah, I'm happy with where I'm at in my life today. And that's the main thing, Marcus. You got to be happy with where you're at now. And right now, regardless of all the bullshit that went wrong, regardless of all the bullshit that went right, I'm extremely happy with my heart and where I'm at with my family, with my friends. I mean, this evening, I'm going to have a couple of friends come over. We're going to do a cookout and watch a ball game. It don't get no better. For me, that's what I want to do. That's who I am today.
All right, guys, we have got to hit the timeout button so that we can talk about a sponsor that I know all of the men listening to this podcast love. Of course, I am talking about Blue Chew. Man, let me tell you, Blue Chew is not just a tablet. This is a straight up cheat code for your crotch. You want to get stronger, harder, longer lasting erections, brother, this is it. It's like somebody gave your wiener a pep talk down there because your guy is ready to go. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. So look, don't lie about it. We've all been there, guys. You're ready to go. Your partner's ready to go. You look down and your little pal there is just staring at the carpet. Like, what are you doing, man? Come on, dude. Give me a break. Get up here. Let's go. We got work to do. And it won't listen. We've all been there. Well, Blue Chew is the solution. We're going to get that thing so hard you could go hunting with it. You are going to love Blue Chew just like I do. And let me say, your partner is going to love it too. This isn't just about performance. This is about a legacy, or third legacy, if you will. Give her group chat something to talk about, man. We all know that those girls are in their group chats and everything that happens is being discussed, whether you like it or not. Why don't you give them something good to talk about? Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little bit of Blue Chew. Discover your options at bluechew.com. And look, we've got a special deal for our listeners. We're giving out boners for free, man. As always, you can get your first month of Blue Chew free when you use our promo code SNAKE. That's SNAKE, SNAKE. Pretty appropriate for Blue Chew, if you ask me. All you got to do is use that promo code at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Free boners sent straight to your house. I mean, come on, man. You got to at least give this thing a try. It's free. If you haven't tried it, you have no idea what you're missing out on. This could seriously be the best sex you have ever had in your entire life, and you're just letting it breeze right past you. Why? Because you don't want to pay the $5 shipping? Give me a break. Come on, give this a shot. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Let them know that we sent you. Head over to bluechew.com for details and safety information. Whenever you check out, make sure that you use our promo code SNAKE, and that's it, just $5 shipping. And before we go, of course, I want to give a big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring the Snake Pit. While you're sidelined with the neck injury, DiBiase built a program, and he's targeting you in his promos and interviews. One memorable promo from a July Superstar stands out as DiBiase talked about how he ended your career and broke out a golden neck brace. So you would fire back telling fans that your return was imminent, though. So You aren't sure going into the surgery if you're going to be returning, but WWF is kind of hedging their bets that like if Jake is going to come back and work for us. What are you telling Vince whenever you're going into the surgery as far as what your doctor had to say?
I'll be back.
There was no doubt in your mind.
Yeah.
So to you, even if it's like stiff neck or whatever, I'm coming back and I'm working and I'm taking bumps no matter what.
I'll be back.
Wow. Well, yeah, they are talking about you a lot on TV. And at this time, Jake, I think it could be argued that your star had never been shining more brightly than it was at this time, 1989. You were a really big part of the WWF presentation. Obviously, you and the Snake are all over the place, toys and action figures, thermoses. At the same time, Hulk Hogan is working on No Holds Barred and clearly eyeing a future in Hollywood. So I say all that to say Vince absolutely did not want to lose you during this time. While you're recovering, is the office kind of regularly checking in on you?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And how would you describe your recovery from neck surgery? I would guess most of us will never deal with it.
Well, basically, I would wake up in the morning and drink a cup of coffee, take a shot of steroids,
Mm-hmm.
and go to the gym.
That was it.
I'd eat a couple Percocet for the pain, and I'd go to the gym for 3 hours.
Are you like restricted in what you can do coming off surgery, or are you just right back into the action?
Back into it.
Wow.
I didn't take any direction from the doctor at all. I just did what I felt like I could do.
Any fear at all of re-aggravating the injury?
No.
When it comes to your gym routine, obviously what you were doing was working. You did start to get a better build. Is this all just stuff that you picked up along the way? Did you hire a personal trainer, or what are you doing?
This stuff I picked up along the way, and I was going to a gym that had a good trainer in it. He was a power lifter, bodybuilder, and he helped me a little bit.
Gotcha. I have a feeling this is a silly question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. I know, Jake, that if I was running a company and I had Vince's resources, I would want to make sure that one of my top guys like you felt valued during a time when you could not work and get your usual payoffs. Were you getting paid even a portion of your usual wages?
Fuck no.
He wasn't giving you anything.
Nothing.
Oh man. So like really there's no alternative. Like, we're talking about like, oh well, it's do you think you're gonna be able to get back? In your head at this time, there's no alternative. You're not gonna be able to do anything that makes you that amount of money.
No, absolutely not. Unless I stripped.
Well, you could have made a fortune doing that.
Oh, no doubt.
I mentioned it. Hogan was working on No Holds Barred, and the WWF was making a big push for the movie and hoping it was going to be a massive hit. Apparently, Vince wrote a lot of the script, and he was using it as a way to ensure that Hogan stuck around the WWF instead of making the jump to Hollywood full time. And actor Tony Tiny Lister is going to be portraying his movie character Zeus in the WWF to try and capitalize on the film as best as possible. He's been criticized over the past 30 some odd years for his inability to work or even pick up the basic elements of professional wrestling. According to Arn Anderson, Zeus was being paid $1,000 per appearance, was getting limo service, 5-star hotels all along the way. Jake, you're coming back into the WWF, and there's an actor there behind the scenes. What did you think of Zeus?
What a lucky motherfucker. That's what I thought.
What else can you think? It's in wrestling, it's obviously everybody's there. They're trying to make as much money as they can in as short a period of time as humanly possible. That's kind of the whole goal in wrestling. Did you begrudge this guy coming in and making all this money, or were you like, hey, good for him?
Sure, I was jealous a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'd work with him a little bit during this time in segments and, of course, at Survivor Series, which we're going to get to. Did you get to know the guy on a personal level at all?
Didn't. Sure did, man. He kind of did his own thing, man. He had his own locker room. You know, he was getting carte blanche, man. So I didn't fit.
Okay, so it was one of those situations where he's coming in as a wrestler, but he is not one of the boys at all, not hanging with the guys.
Not at all.
Bruce Pritchard has said that Zeus was paired with Savage because he was in need of constant reminders and cues. So not really a fair position to put Savage in, essentially a babysitter for this guy.
Yeah.
Did you get the impression from him as Savage as to how he felt about his situation?
You could tell how he felt about it, man. He didn't like it. What the fuck am I doing up there? I'm babysitting the fucking giant.
Hard did not hate that. Like, no matter that, he could be the nicest guy in the world. Hard did not hate that dude when he's making all this money and you've got to help take care of him, make sure he gets to the building on time. And hey, don't forget to do this when we get out. Like, it would be really hard to not resent that, man.
Yeah, I think everybody resented it.
Jake, did you ever go out and see No Holds Barred?
No, I didn't.
All right, coming soon to the Snake Pit, a watch along of No Holds. I wouldn't do that to you, Jake.
Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't.
So right now you're coming from the perspective of one of the boys, but hypothetically, if you could put on your business cap for a moment, look at things from Vince's perspective. Was it smart business to bring Zeus to the WWF TV like this?
Sure it was. He's selling tickets for the theater, man. He's trying to spark interest for it, you know. And there's great business on Vince's part.
Hard to argue it, man. It's like as frustrating as I'm sure he knew all you guys were. It's like, hey, he's making a movie and he's damn sure going to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff that happens in your absence is that Dusty Rhodes is going to make his debut at the WWF. It's kind of a weird spot for you because, again, you're one of the top baby faces in the company at this time. Now you're out with a serious injury and surgery. When you see somebody the caliber of Dusty Rhodes coming in the door as a baby face, are you concerned about your spot on the roster?
Sure I was. Absolutely.
I mean, you know, you've been around Dusty, worked with him, all of the above. And at this point, though, would you say that you were gaining some confidence in yourself? Because again, you're a huge star in professional wrestling at this time. Were you like, hey, I'm irreplaceable, everything will be fine, or did you not have that belief in yourself?
I didn't have that belief in myself.
Why not?
My father inbred that into me. You know, he made me feel like I was never going to be there. You know, that I wasn't worthy.
Wow.
And that's one of the things that made me stay so hungry.
Kind of a blessing and a curse in that way, because you never stop trying to push the rock up the hill, but nothing is probably ever satisfying.
That's true. So true.
Do you think that if Vince had given you the world title, you're a main eventer, you're all over the place with Hogan every week, would that have changed anything, or was there no peak that you could have reached that would have made you feel better?
Changed a lot, man.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. Even the Intercontinental, you know.
Yeah.
Just one of those two spots would have changed so much for me.
You know, I've heard Bruce Pritchard talk about you in the past before, and he's said Jake never needed a belt. Jake was over. He didn't need a belt. But you're saying now that even the Intercontinental would have helped you. What's your perspective on that? Why would it have helped you out?
It would have helped my own confidence.
Gotcha.
You know, that's what it would have helped. You know, it would have made me happy with myself. And I wouldn't keep punishing myself the way I did.
Because I know you well enough to know that you don't care about the belt. The belt is actually a pain in the ass to have to carry on the road with you. It's really, whenever the company gives you a belt, that's a company saying, we believe in you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jake, did you envision Dusty rising to the world title picture in the WWF during this time?
No.
Why not?
I didn't figure Vince would give him that opportunity.
It does feel strange. You bring a guy like Dusty Rhodes with his legacy, and not only are you positioning him like this, but then it's like he never really rose above mid-card, ever.
Vince wouldn't let him.
Why even bring him into the company? Just to try and embarrass him, I guess?
Yep.
Well, apparently there was so much heat among the boys when it came to Dusty Rhodes coming into the company that the WWF actually sent out a memo to everyone in the company, essentially where they told them that they needed to play nice with Dusty when he came in. So I guess all of the guys are getting this. I assume it was the issue was with the guys who had worked with Dusty and JCP previously and maybe got a bad taste in their mouth. Do you remember people feeling prickly about Dusty coming in?
No, I don't.
No? Well, I guess you wouldn't have been there when he first came.
Remember when he first came in?
I mean, overall, I guess, you're probably a little bit intimidated about your spot, but a good thing for business to have Dusty Rhodes come in.
Oh, yeah. He put asses in seats, man.
Yes, he sure did. You've been wrestling for 15 years up to this point. This will be your 15th year in wrestling, but now you're returning from major surgery. Coming back, Jake, I know that you were confident, like, I'm coming back out there, nothing's going to stop me. I have to imagine you changed some of what you were doing in the ring, though, following this.
I did. Yeah.
What did you alter?
Not as much bumping. Because when I took certain bumps, electricity would shoot through my body.
Even after surgery?
Yeah. It was kind of painful. Which kind of sucked because the DDT was one of the things that hurt.
Was there ever a thought of trying to come up with a new finish?
Nope.
You can't, right?
Nope.
Did you change the way you did the DDT or just fucking right back into it?
Kept doing it, man.
There's a photo out there of Ted giving you a pile driver, and I believe it was taken after this surgery to kind of get over the fact that he was trying to hurt you in your neck. Were you okay to take pile drivers, or was it Ted the exception because you trusted him?
Ted was the exception because I trusted him.
Well, the house shows and television had a destination in mind, and that was the Survivor Series in 1989, 35 years ago, as this podcast is debuting. This is the third installment of the pay-per-view, and it's going to take place in front of 15,000 fans on Thanksgiving at the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago. Stone Cold has said that he's got really fond memories of working at the Rosemont because of the sound and the way that the acoustics in the building were, thanks to the wooden ceiling. What can you tell us about the Rosemont?
He's right there, man. The sound was unbelievable, man. It just echoed. It just blew the top off that sumbitch every time you went out there.
So when you get a pop, it probably sounds like the building's going to come unglued.
Absolutely.
On this night, there were 5 matches, all of which were 4-on-4 elimination style. Your match takes place third on the card, and the other members of the team, of course, are Hulk Hogan, the world champion, and Demolition, the tag team champions. Jake, you once told a great story about what kind of snake you had for this event. If we're ever going to talk about it again, please, let's relive it right now.
Well, Vince wanted me to carry a bigger snake so all 4 of us could carry the snake to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But my thinking was, you're killing my fucking gimmick, man, if you let these other guys handle the snake. So I can't let that happen. So I had a choice. I had to outthink that son of a bitch or just tell him, no, I wouldn't do it. Well, I can't do that. So I had my snake handler send a snake that was too big for everybody. It was like 27 feet, 28 feet. Weighed like 375 pounds.
Holy shit.
His head was like super huge. Super huge.
Like Anaconda, the
Yes,
movie.
it was. It was an anaconda.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And he came in a crate or something, if I remember right.
Huge wooden crate, man, that whenever they started prying the top off of it, he hit that son of a bitch and the lid went flying and started coming out. And the snake handler went and put a headlock on it. When he did, the snake picked him up and slammed him against the concrete.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
How was the snake handler?
Oh, he was out. He was out, man.
Now the question is, how do you get this big fucking snake back into this crate?
We all had to get a hold of it.
Unbelievable.
And he was shitting everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
Just spraying everybody with shit, man. It was horrifying.
What did the Hulkster have to say following meeting this snake?
Oh, fuck that. That was what he said. Fuck that. Oh,
I'll tell you what, that's some chess, not checkers type thinking, Jake. You get a snake so big that nobody wants to touch it.
nobody wanted a piece of that son of a bitch.
I love it. Now, I didn't get a chance to watch back this match before this episode. Did you come to the ring with a snake, just not that snake?
Yeah, I came back with the regular snake.
There you go. So you still got to get your shit over without anybody else getting a piece of it.
That's right.
That's the way. Billy Eadie and Barry Darsow, they're going to play Axe and Smash. They enjoyed a long run, and they started out as heels, but really became baby faces really quick. What do you think it was about Axe and Smash that made the fans like them so much right out of the gate?
Well, they were road warriors in disguise, man. And that's what got them over, man. And they just had to go with it.
Now, did you view it as a Road Warrior ripoff, or it's all fair game?
It's all fair game, bro.
Jake, at the time, did you make the connection that Bill and Barry were dressed up in what I guess you'd call BDSM kink outfits?
Oh yeah, yeah. That was obvious.
Of course, as a kid, I never made that connection. Once you become an adult and watch it back, you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah.
On the other side of the ring, DiBiase is the captain. He's joined by Zeus and the Powers of Pain, and Warlord and Barbarian. Zeus is going to get disqualified for repeatedly choking Hogan, so get his green ass the fuck out of the ring. He's done.
Yeah.
And then Axe and Smash are going to be out next, leaving you and Hogan at a temporary disadvantage. Barbarian and Warlord are then disqualified for dropping Hogan with a spike pile driver, which I didn't realize was illegal, but here we are for some reason. You'll get the hot tag and just whoop Ted DiBiase's ass for a minute before catching a fist drop from Ted and then getting beat with his feet on the ropes. And we all know how this thing's got to end. It's Hogan. He hulks up, gets the win, and the crowd gets what they want in the end.
Yep.
What's strange to me here is that this match is on third. It is right in the middle of the card, and Hogan is the world champion. You're just returning from injury, and the crowd is hot for you. And Demolition, they're the tag team champions. If you had to guess, just a wild shot at it, why do you think you guys weren't main event?
They wanted to put somebody in main event that could do some wrestling, man.
Oh, okay.
Who was main event?
Well, the Warrior was in there, so he was out. However, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard were both involved in the main event, or it's supposed to be. So it's that might be what's at the core of it.
Yep.
And Andre's there.
They can carry the load.
I know you hate tag team matches, Jake. Did you like Survivor Series concept though? Is that any different for you?
Sucked.
It's even worse because you've got 8 dudes instead of 2
on
each side.
Guys, and only about 3 of them know what they're fucking doing.
All right, we are about done. This will be my last one, and I just have to bring this up because it's kind of controversial. So Tully Blanchard was set to be in the main event, but he's going to fail a drug test on the way to the event, and he's going to go on to say that he failed this drug test 2 weeks prior or so in Philadelphia, but they wanted to beat him up on TV ahead of the Survivor Series and then fuck him on like the pay-per-view payoff as he was on his way out the door. Yes. So that's it. He's done not just in the WWF, Jake, but then Jim Hurd in WCW hears about him failing a drug test, and he had a deal on the table for him and Arn, and he said, Arn, you can still come down. Tully, you're gone. And by the way, Arn, what we told you we were going to pay you, can't pay you that anymore because you lost your tag team partner. So you're going to get half of what we initially offered you.
Wow.
So this whole thing has like huge ripples effects, and Tully Blanchard, that's essentially it for his entire career. He can't go work on any of the major stations anymore. He'll pop up in ECW, I think, maybe work some indie dates, but Tully Blanchard on a big stage in professional wrestling, it's done.
Done.
So Jake, does that sound like something that the Vince McMahon might do to somebody?
Absolutely, man.
Why so vindictive just because a dude's about to leave your company?
Uh,
Why do you think he's so like Tully and Arn did it the right way? They gave them